Well, good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well this evening or early morning, however you look at it. For me, it's my evening, I guess.
Officially, it's morning.
Yep. So we're gonna get started here. Our theme tonight is orbs and manifestations, but really more unusual things that's happened to us during our videos, and we're gonna be trying to show a clip or two here later on. And I thought I'd let Jane talk about a little bit about her show that she had the other night. And go ahead.
Oh, okay. I thought you were still talking. Yeah, I was on Marty's show last night, the Nana Boss, and that was my very first guest appearance on someone else's show. We just had a blast. It was so much fun and talked about all kinds of different things, and we're hoping to do it again. And while that happened yesterday, I asked her to be on our show. So she will be our guest this coming Sunday, 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern. And she might have a guest with her, but we'll let you know if that happens. But we definitely are going to have Marty, the Nana Boss, with us this coming Sunday.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
And we've got Shannon and War Criminal 7. Hi, guys. Welcome.
Yep, nice to see everybody here. And um, like she said, this you said this weekend, right? We're having Marty.
Yep.
That'll be a fun time. Have her on and see what's going on. So I we got some other guests that we got lined up coming on
Mm-hmm.
Sundays at 6 p.m. Central Time, which would be 7 p.m. Eastern Time for everybody else that's tuning in other areas.
Yeah, we got a few guests lined up already.
Yep, and it should be names everybody already knows, so we won't mention them. We'll just kind of keep them a surprise until they we put it up and everybody can see who they are.
And now we've got Be Kind. Hi, Be Kind.
Now, if people end up going to our Midwest Night Watchers YouTube and get in chat, we can make some people mods tonight because we haven't really done that yet. So if anybody wants to jump over into our chat, we can start making some mods for some people.
And we already have one question. Y'all ever figure out what came out of the picture? Well, that's one thing we're going to discuss, and we've got a small little clip of it, so we're going to look at it and see what we can come up with. So nobody can debunk it. That's one thing. We have not been able to debunk it, so everybody's just scratching their head, not knowing what it is.
Well, I guess I'll start off with talking about William's show. For in case not everybody knows that Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings, William Nighthawk and Dennis Carroll has a show, Morning Brew, on his channels, and since we joined their platform, it shows up on our YouTubes also, and so I've been on there almost every Saturday, Sunday for quite a while now, and this last Sunday, right where this teardrop salt block is, all of a sudden this vapor tube looking arm thing comes out and start waving around, and the expression on William's face when I noticed it, his eyes were just like fixated on my background, so I could tell he was seeing it also. And we spent, I don't know, several minutes or more at the end of the show trying to figure out what was causing it. I turned the light off. I moved stuff around. It was still there. Then, well, by the end of the show, we kind of figured maybe there was a hair on my lens of my camera, but I never saw a hair on the lens of the camera, but I did wipe it off and it did go away. So I'm not really sure. I think we debunked it,
Well, as
but that
small as small as that camera is, it had to have been a really teeny tiny little hair or spider web or something. It had to have been really small. But what still got me is it changed shape. So if it was a hair, why did the tip of it kind of change and bounce around? So yeah, we probably did
right.
debunk it.
Hi, Aussie
Hi,
Sue.
Ozzy Sue. She must be in the other chat.
Yeah, she's in our
Yeah,
chat.
she's in William's chat then.
So one of
Cool.
the clips is not going to be William's show because it's so long. I mean, we spent several minutes trying to figure it out, and
Mm-hmm.
but I think we figured it out as far as the hair maybe or something like that being on there. Even though I did not physically see the hair, or when I wiped it, I didn't see a hair fall off or was on my hands or anything, but it did go away.
And it did look like it was kind of in front of you, going in front, so it really wasn't behind you.
Yeah, we probably watched that
Quite a few times, yeah.
at least 10 or 12 times probably, and slowed it down and looked at it, and so we did start seeing a little bit of the light or the arm or whatever you want to call the anomaly that once in a while it looked like it was on my hat, or we could just kind of see it. It was hard to tell, but we think that's what was going on. Then that night, obviously Sunday, we had Steve Stockton on our show, and everything was going good all the way through the whole show. And we were probably what, hour and a half into it when Steve finally left, and me and you were talking, and you noticed something behind my head again. Do you want to see what you saw, or
Well, we were just trying to finish the show, and all of a sudden I just saw this fuzzy thing above your head and go behind you. And yeah, I noticed it right away, like, oh my gosh, I think I saw something behind you. And you just kind of went, oh no, not again. And it was actually a Texas show when they were breaking it down slow motion. We could really see what that phenomena is. Oh, hey, welcome, Monster Radio.
yeah, Monster Radio's here. You said War Criminal already, Aussie Sue, and
Be kind.
Be Kind.
And Shannon. And Val was in here earlier. And she had to get up at 5 o'clock, so she's going to catch us tomorrow. Well, welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I knew we weren't the only ones that were up late.
Yeah,
We're always up late. He doesn't get home till midnight, and we usually do stay up for an hour or so. So we're used to it.
yep. So where was I? Steve Stockton was on our show, and once he left, we were talking, and Jane saw the whatever it was. We thought maybe at first it was a spider web, or some people said it looked like a feather, and it came right out of that gun picture. If I can find my finger, the gun
Yeah.
picture there, right in between the little square and the pistol itself. It seemed like it manifested and came out of it and floated up and then came down behind me. And the weird thing is that I change some of the stuff in the background once in a while. And so I look at that picture, and I look to make sure everything looks okay. And there wasn't any cobwebs or anything right before the show. So I don't know where that came from, if it was a cobweb, but we don't really think it is. We think it's something that really did manifest out of that picture. At least that's what it looks like on video.
Well, when they slowed it down on Texas front porch, when it got behind your head, it almost looked like the wings kind of went whoop and then went down behind you. and it was a totally different shape than, well, it just changed shape the whole time. It was really odd. I don't
Yep.
get it. Just like Jason said, spider webs stick to things. They don't just pop out and fly off of a picture, especially when we don't have ceiling fans and something running by making a breeze.
Yeah, it's really strange. I don't know. And then
Hmm.
what was it? The night I was on Texas Front Porch, which had been Monday night, we had another strange thing happen, and we didn't know it till late in the show then too, right?
Right. And that was also, it was like an hour and 8 minutes in. Some of these other ones were around like an hour and 40 minutes in. Yeah, Monster has a question. That's what we're wondering because Steve Stockton just got off the show. And we were kind of wrapping up the show. We were talking about fays and fairies. So that is a possibility. There is a lot of people that said that when they're viewing it, it does look like a fairy.
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know
Hmm.
what it was or how to explain it. I mean, but it definitely happened, and it's on camera. So,
On a live show.
and that's when we were on Texas show. That's exactly what Jason said. Was it a fairy, or actually he said a female or something? I can't remember. He made a joke out of it. I can't remember what he said.
Who you mean, Jason?
Yeah, when we were on Texas show and we were
Oh
talking
yeah.
about that. And
Oh, he asked if we saw naked women with wings.
yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, naked women with wings. No, yeah. No, I really didn't see a head or anything like that. It was just something fuzzy and weird, and it just acted like it had an intelligence and moved on its own. Very interesting. A pixie, maybe. That could be. We Steve was talking about pixies that night. We were talking about all kinds of different fays and fairies, and they're all different. Some are, he said mostly they're malevolent and mean little things, but I think he did say pixies are the nice ones.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a possibility too. Huh.
So then, did we say what happened to the after Steve left?
You mean,
As far as the tapestry?
oh, you mean the next night on front
Yeah, because
porch?
we were talking about Steve leaving. Then I think we started
Yeah.
talking to the chat.
Yeah, that's when we were on the Texas front, or you were on Texas front porch, and Jason and Brandy, and you were just talking about it. And so after that show, we went upstairs and rewatched it. And right at that time that you were talking about this little fairy looking thing on the front porch show, we noticed an orb, and it's definitely a round orb this time, and it went shooting out of that black and white quilt that's on the wall and went zipping up to the gun.
And
That
so we did the same thing. We watched that video over and over, and we could not see it come in frame anywhere. It's like it came
mm-mm.
straight out of that black and white tapestry or quilt wall hanging.
No,
So we couldn't figure it out.
We rewound that and watched that over and over again, and it's shooting straight out of that black and white quilt and just kind of zipped up to the gun photo.
So it's been a strange couple of days as far as broadcasts. So we'll have to go back and watch our other ones more closely and see if anything else has happened while we've been online or on air.
That's a good idea. Yeah, if this has been happening, maybe it did happen the first few shows.
So it's hard to say. I mean, because I don't really pay attention to the background that often. I try to look at the chat and I try to concentrate on what everybody else is saying, especially when I'm on somebody else's show.
War has a question. And yes, we do clear. I do um, sage and the Palo Santos or the sticks or whatever. I do the prayer. I ask for protection off four corners of my house and well, actually the property. I protect the all four property corners, and I say above and below and throughout. And someone's show several months ago, they were saying it. Just imagine in your mind kind of like a snowstorm when the snow's falling really nice and softly. Imagine that being salt, because salt will get rid of the negative energies. So when you're clearing your houses and meditating, just imagine salt flowing all over. And so, yes, we do a lot of clearings and definitely protection. And when I'm outside, I make my intentions known that I only want malevolent to approach and say hi or power up, and no malevolent is allowed to even come close to my property.
Yeah, so we're always trying to put out, love and peace and good
Hmm.
intentions out, whenever we do anything, whether we're out in the backyard, hoping that we see some anomaly or something out in the backyard at night, or when we do our sky watching videos and stuff, we do the exact same thing. We try to project that feeling and that love and peace to them, and just like James said, we try to keep the malevolent out. And
Hmm. And Warrior, next question. It's still too cold here in Illinois. I mean, there was a couple nights a few weeks ago when we all had the tornadoes. It was like 80 some degrees, and I went out a little bit, and I did see a few little things like blink and flash at me, but it's too cold to go out and investigate. So we're waiting. I know spring is here, but we will be out there in the backyard really soon. Hi, Tubes.
yep, so as soon as the weather warms up and it's not quite as crisp at night, I mean, it's getting pretty nice during the day. I mean, we're in the 50s, and
60s. Yeah, we're getting there. Well, in Illinois, we have bipolar weather. It's warm for a couple of days, and then we drop 40 degrees, and then we jump up and back and forth, back and forth.
so we're hoping to get back out there and set up some cameras, and we're still thinking about trying to decide what new camera to get to
Hmm.
maybe get some better footage of the sky. I really like the 360 camera that I've been looking at, and it's supposed to have a really good video quality. You can hook right up to social media and stuff straight from the camera, so you don't really have to go through anything else.
That would be nice. I am ready for the warm nights and to get out of this house and find out what the farmer grows this year. If it's going to be beans that we're going to have a better view, or we're going to have corn, which can be very interesting hearing noises in there. You don't, you don't know what's in the cornfield. So,
Yeah, and hopefully, we're planning on maybe doing some live sky watching with you guys, and I'm not sure how that's going to work, but I'm going to try to hook up a camera, whichever one we decide works best, or able to hook up to our stream, and me and Jane will probably be on like this, and we might have the third camera showing up below or something, just of the night sky, whatever constellation or whatever, and eventually, we might let the chat pick a constellation to look at, but obviously it has to be something that's visible to us. What are you laughing at?
full of monsters comment.
That one?
Yeah. Well, that's one reason why we have too many cats, because there for a while we were finding a kitten each year. And so we call it cats of the corn. And then we finally had to stop, like, okay, you guys could be strays, we'll feed you, but you're not coming in the house. We have children of the corn. Yeah, we make comments about that. I mean,
Yeah, we always we
there's
always tease
boxes.
we always tease the kids growing up since we moved here about being children of the corn.
I mean, we've shined flashlights and stuff out there, and you see these eyeballs looking at you. We'll come to find out there were foxes a few years ago, but when you first shine a flashlight out there and you see these eyeballs looking at you, like, oh my gosh, what is that? Then we find out it's just a fox looking at us. But yeah,
So
of
yeah,
course.
then we moved up to the Psionics night vision camera and got some videos of some of the animals, and we got the deer and the coon and the skunks and foxes going through, trotting through the field and dipping into our yard once in a while.
Well, last summer we had coyotes really bad in the area, so hopefully they're not as bad. And to kind of chase the foxes away, I'd rather have fox running around than the coyotes.
Yeah, I like the foxes better too. Well, I mean, just like when we were feeding them by hand out back.
I was just going to say, you got to tell them when we had babies come up several years ago and got so close to you. It was bologna, I think it was, that you had in your hand, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bologna.
Yeah, so whenever the foxes had babies or even before that a little bit, but they would come in our backyard, because since we have chickens and goats and stuff, I think they were looking for scraps or anything they could find, and eventually we started putting little bit of leftovers by a tree right out back of our sunroom, so we just sit there and watch them come up, and feed out of it, and eventually they brought their babies up because they felt safe enough for them to be out there and get something to eat. And then I don't know why I thought of it one night. I just sat by the base of the tree where we usually put the pan, and they came up and like, oh, what is that? You're not supposed to be here. And then so they kind of were skittish, but then eventually they knew I had food, so they started coming up, and all the babies ate out of my hand. I was able to hand feed every one of them.
It was so cute. They were so tiny. And mom was in the background, as she probably said, it's okay. This is our food source. They got spaghetti and all kinds of leftovers. So she was just showing her babies where there was some food once in a while. But we know you're not supposed to feed them all the time. That's not good for any kind of animal. So we just do once in a while and give them a treat, but they got to go out and get their own food.
But we don't really feed anybody out back
No,
anymore as far as
not
wild
foxes.
animals. I mean, we gave the deer some corn this winter.
Yeah. And we have a stray cat that's been around here for about 7 years, and I still can't pet him, so he's kind of wild. He's just a feral guy just running around. But the foxes really don't, you see them run around, run past or run out in the field, but they don't really hang out like they used to.
But we kind of slowed down just because of the chickens and stuff. We don't want anything to get in our barn or the chicken pen, so we kind of stopped doing that practice of trying to hand feed the varmints.
Well, so far we've been lucky they haven't been able to get into the pole barn yet. Our fainting goat has never fainted once. He probably would faint if something got in there.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
So I guess we should get back to what we were originally talking about. We kind of got off subject a little bit, but we will be having some night sky videos that we'll be adding this summer to our channel, just like we have been. If we see something that looks pretty cool or something unusual that we can't explain, we'll just be adding that as a regular video. Then, like I said, if we buy the new camera and decide which one we get, then we'll hopefully try to get that involved in a live stream where it's live so you can watch it as we're watching it while we're doing our broadcast. Then if anybody sees anything in it while we're going or whatever, they can leave a comment or let us know, and then we'll be able to clip it out and then add it to the shows or stuff that we're going to be showing.
And if we see anything, we've got a couple laser lights that hopefully would show up on the live stream if we can point out, here or there may be something. Then we'll try to check the apps real quick to make sure it's not a satellite and verify. And everybody will be a part of the live stream, the live skywatch. That would be great.
Yep, it's pretty cool. It's going to be fun if we can get it going and get everybody else involved with it too.
Well, war criminal, I'm not really concerned on. I mean, there is good and bad aliens. That's why I make sure that when my intentions get out there, I don't want any malevolent. I just want, the good beings. I mean, if the dark side has vehicles, the light side also does. That's how I'm seeing it. And the experience and the just a feeling that I have when I do get very strong power ups and links, I do feel that they are the malevolent ones and they're just saying hi. And the one there's so many times that I see something and I'm I get ready to record it or I just look at it and it just fades out and it's gone. I don't see it on the psionics camera at all. And I just sense that they were the bad guys and they knew that I was watching them and they just went, uh-oh, she sees me. Poof. They're gone. But I've never seen anything super close. No, like, if I see it, they come zap down in my backyard. Yes, I am going to go inside. I don't, I don't want to be abducted or anything like that. So
Trying to read the chat. I might have it just a little
yeah,
bit too far away.
well, mine's kind of close, but I don't want to put my glasses on. So yeah, I'm still having a hard time. Actually, I wish you can. I wish you can
That's why
blow. I wish you
that's
can
why you
blow
see
it.
me pick up my phone every once in a while and look down to see who's all in there. And
We have 10 people in chat.
all
Well,
right,
this
well,
this is our chat, so I'm not sure how many is over in Williams.
there's 13 total so far, I think, with all Williams
Okay.
channels and Facebook and everything. And
Well, who's over in Williams chat? Welcome. I can only see the one on our chat, and I know Facebook is up. There might be Twitch. Also, is Twitch scheduled? Hi, Maggie.
I don't know if I scheduled Twitch or not. Usually William comes in and starts adding everything after we set it up, but looks like right now we just got YouTube and Facebook on all our channels.
Okay. Oh, very cool. Yeah, we've got a lot of people awake this time of night. This is wonderful. We're not the
Well,
only ones that don't sleep.
yeah.
But when we do, we sleep until, I mean, you get up around what, 9? I get up around 11, sometimes 12 if I can't get to sleep right away. And you
Yeah.
don't have, second shift is kind of nice. We don't have to have alarms and we can stay up whenever we want. We sleep in and he gets up in time to go to work.
Oh my. 4
Maggie,
p.m.
okay. Pardon me?
She's Maggie says it's 4 p.m. where she's at.
Oh, wow. Where are you at?
UK, Australia, maybe?
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Well, welcome.
Yeah. Hi, Maggie.
Welcome to everybody else that's in the chat that we might not have said hi or popped you up on screen yet.
I hope I got everybody. I've been trying to come over and actually say hi in chat.
Yep.
Just gonna take time, I guess, to get used to, looking over and reading everything and then focusing on the show. And well, this is just a laid back show anyway. It's not like it's planned. So if we pause a little bit, I do want to pay attention to our chat. Chat people are very, very important to the shows.
Yeah, we've been kind of, I don't know if you want to say lazy, but we've been so enthralled a lot of times. When we have Steve or somebody on, we kind of get fixated on their stories. And want to pay attention to our guests
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. Then we kind of, being new at this, we were not. I don't know, not multitasking very well. But tonight we wanted to get on, and since of what we've had little anomalies and do a little show on that and just kind of talk with chat. And here in just a little bit, we're going to show the clips that I cut out of the shows that we think are actually could possibly really be something. But I mean, like, again, we don't really know. We can't really explain it. We can't say that it's actual a phenomenon, but that's the way it looks to us.
Mm-hmm. We're not able to debunk it. The only thing that we could have debunked was the one from William Nighthawk. That probably was some kind of a microscopic little fuzz or something right in front of the camera. But these other two things, the one that come out of the gun and the way it changed shapes and the way it was just moving like it meant to go straight down right behind you. And then the little orb that came flying out of the black and white quilt, that definitely was round. And we watched it over and over again. You couldn't see it on the brown quilt or anything. It definitely was shooting out of the quilt. Aussies feared nothing.
Yeah, Aussies are a pretty tough crowd. They're out there experiencing the elements and who knows what out there in that landscape that they have.
Well, I was just gonna say, we raise children. When you raise children, especially going through teenage years, you lose your fear. You've gone through everything. Well, welcome, Darcy.
But she's got to go to work. Is that what she's saying? Or just got off work? Yeah, just got off
Well,
work.
welcome. We just thought once in a while we would pop on these late night shows and just have a chat night with our chat and talk about small little subjects. And that way we don't have a guest that we are focusing on. We're actually focusing on you guys and asking questions and discussing things, which that's what I really like. If you haven't already. Oh, thank you. Yes, please hit the like button, share, subscribe. Make sure that bell is black so you get the notifications.
Yeah, because that's been happening a lot where people has been losing their
Losing them.
notifications, whether it's
Mhm.
Facebook or some kind of weird glitch in their system now. I don't know what's going on with it, but especially since we're just starting out, it'd be nice if we can get this out there and, maybe grow a little bit and hopefully everybody enjoys what we're doing. And we're we're not really trying to be anything special. We're just talking about what our interests are and what we see, or hopefully what everybody else's interests are to match ours. And so far, we've met some really nice people in chat and in other people's chats, and they're willing to come on our show and tell their stories or experiences. And we just want to sit back, just like we're at the kitchen table, and talk to them and let them go and see where the night goes.
You see monster, but not everything in Australia can kill you. It doesn't mean it doesn't want to. It just can't.
Yeah, it's about like here in the States too, depending on where you go. You got some pretty vicious stuff. You got some nice, friendly stuff that you think is nice until you go up to it. Then it's not so friendly.
I
Just
think
got to
every,
be careful.
I think every part of the world has their own little scary things. I don't think anybody would want to mess with a rabid kangaroo in your backyard that can beat the snot out of you. We've got coons, possums, skunks.
Snakes.
They got kangaroos. You got a box.
Yeah, and they're in shape too.
Oh boy.
Well,
Yeah, the
we've been,
rattlesnakes. Mm-hmm.
yeah, rattlesnakes.
And then you got scorpions. Well, Illinois, we got tornadoes. You actually get to the point that you don't go into the basement. You go outside and find it and see where it's at. That's what Midwest people do,
Yeah,
which
it's
we
bad.
probably shouldn't. But
It's bad enough you got raccoons and possums and all that stuff. Then you got snakes out there slithering around. Then you got a tornado that picks them up and throws them at you.
I see a cow. Oh boy. Sitting
Well, I
on the
think
first.
we'll go ahead and bring up our first video unless you are going to say something different.
No, we can go ahead and watch the videos.
So excuse me if I make the screen bounce a little bit.
Don't bounce it.
I'm trying not to.
You gotta be more careful.
So I guess the first one is when we were trying to explain the feather in the picture when we were on Texas,
Okay.
I believe. All still there. Then they said, well, maybe it's something on your camera lens. I said, I'm staring right at my camera lens. I can't see anything on that little tiny dock. So I'm using a tablet.
Mm-hmm.
But when I did go up and brush that camera, at the same time when I got up and blocked the camera, it was gone. So I don't know if there was actually a hair. I did not physically see a hair or anything causing that to happen, but it never came. It didn't come back. And then on Steve's show last night, right at the end, after Steve left, me and Jane still finishing up the show, just talking a little bit. And she goes, "You just had something appear behind your head again." I said, "Oh, no, not again. What is it?"
Yeah, that was a little orb one. And
So
right after you said, "Oh no, not again," you see this teeny tiny little thing come out of the quilt and go. Bzz.
I don't know. We probably didn't set it up very well. So if you see you're talking about the tapestry wall hanging, right?
Yeah, so the one that you just played was the little orb that popped because I saw it. It's very quick. I mean, so yeah, that was the little orb one. So we could turn around.
So tell them again what I was saying, and it comes out of the black and white tapestry right here and goes towards the pistol.
Have your finger up just a little bit more. You almost had it exactly. Yeah, go up, go down, down. I mean, you're kind of going the wrong direction. Up again.
Not according to what I'm seeing.
And stop. So it comes out about right that area, and then it zips up to like the handle of the pistol. And it's at the the last few quick little seconds. So then they'll be able to see exactly what they're supposed to see.
Hopefully I picked the same video again. So we'll play it again, or maybe a couple more times so you guys can see it. And you can also go to the live show, which would be on Texas Front Porch for Monday. Their Monday show was where the live show is, and you can watch it at your own leisure too there. And eventually, like I said, I'm gonna take these clips and I'll put it up on our site, our Facebook group, and on YouTube, so you can go there and just watch the clip if you want to over and over, like kind of like what we did to try to, I don't know, we watch it just to see if it's really what it is or debunk it or try to figure out exactly what it is, and we can't really pinpoint what it is other than we think it really is maybe a possible orb. So we'll go ahead and play it again and see. All still there. Then they said, well, maybe it's something on your camera lens. I said, I'm staring right at my camera lens. I can't see anything on that little tiny dock. So I'm using a tablet.
Mm-hmm.
But when I did go up and brush that camera, at the same time when I got up and blocked the camera, it was gone. So I don't know if there was actually a hair. I did not physically see a hair or anything causing that to happen, but it never came. It didn't come back. And then on Steve's show last night, right at the end, after Steve left, me and Jane still finishing up the show, just talking a little bit. And she goes, "You just had something appear behind your head again." I said, "Oh, no, not again. What is it?"
Anybody see it?
Even on my screen, I'm having a hard time seeing it like we were before. So I don't know. Could you see it?
I saw it, yeah, because it's a really tiny little round thing, and you can barely see it when it comes out of that little quilt, and you just see it zip up and. Yep, Monster Radio saw it. Okay, yeah, it's a real.
Some people are saying they saw it, and
it's definitely round. It's not like the first time.
Maggie couldn't see it. Monster saw it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a clip and really kind of slow it down.
And I wish there was a way. I could have. Maybe I should have. I wanted to show everybody that was on the show though and their reaction to it. So maybe I can crop that down where it's just my screen, and
it's the last few seconds when you go, "Oh no, not again," and then it just zips up. So you can play it one more time because it's really short.
I will. I'll play it again so people can see it. But
it's towards the end, Maggie. Right after you say, "Oh no, not again," and then just kind of keep an eye on the quilt and the top of the gun where the white part of the pistol was. at the handle.
It probably depends, like everything else, what you're viewing it on. I mean, if you're viewing it on a phone, it might be a small video that you can't hardly see. But like we were watching it last night on the big screen TV because I put it over on it so we could
Well, it's
watch it and
easier.
actually. Even then we walked up closer to the TV so we could say, "Did we see what we saw?"
Yeah, well, I was trying to make sure if it wasn't coming out of the brown quilt, and we could not see anything. It definitely is popping out of the black and white quilt.
All right. Well, we'll play it again, and we'll play it a couple more times if everybody wants. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next clip. All's still there. Then they said, "Well, maybe it's something on your camera lens." I said, "I'm staring right at my camera lens. I can't see anything on that little tiny dock. So I'm using a tablet."
Mm-hmm.
But when I did go up and brush that camera, at the same time when I got up and blocked the camera, it was gone. So I don't know if there was actually a hair. I did not physically see a hair or anything causing that to happen, but it never came. It didn't come back. And then on Steve's show last night, right at the end, after Steve left, me and Jane still finishing up the show, just talking a little bit. And she goes, "You just had something appear behind your head again." I said, "Oh, no, not again. What is it?"
Actually, I saw it before you said, "Oh no, not again." And so, well, hopefully people are able to see that. We might, like I said, do another clip and really slow it down.
Yeah, we're probably going to
Is
have
it?
to just so
Yeah,
because it was even hard for me to see even tonight after I already played it. But before, obviously we know when it's happening, when it's coming out.
yeah. She said she saw it, and Toom saw it. Yeah,
All right.
it's just a quick little thing. So then the other one is definitely, you can see the other one a lot better.
Yeah, we'll play that one next, and let's tell them again what happened. If you want to go ahead and explain it, because you saw it, I was talking.
Yeah, Steve Stockton just got off the show talking about fairies, fays, and all the different elementals, and trying to finish up the show. And I just briefly just saw this white little thing above his head and zip down. So then we went back and watched it and found out it was coming out of the gun picture, and it just pops out, and then it kind of floats up close to the black and white quilt, and you can kind of see a little C, or like a little hair. But when it floats back up above his head, it changes shape, and then it just zips down behind Gerald. And so on Texas Front Porch, Tex got on there and broke it down and made it really slow, and we rewatched it and rewatched it and rewatched it. Jason and Brandy and I mean, all of us, we could not debunk it. It is definitely a mystery. We have no idea what this is. So then that night when we were watching their show, that's when we noticed ourselves like, oh my gosh, on Texas Front Porch is when that little thing zips up. So it happened, 2 days in a row.
Yeah, 2 days in a row for something like that. Then 3 shows in a row if you count whatever the light salt
Williams.
lamp is. But I mean, like I
Right.
said, I think we kind of ruled that out as something phenomenon. But I don't know. It's kind of weird when it showed up, and at the same time, all these are showing up at the same time frames. It's really weird.
Pretty close. Yeah, one was like 138, one was at like 140, and then that little orb is at 108. So very interesting.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and play that one, and then we'll probably play it several times too. So, did you say what I was talking about, or do you remember where it is?
Um,
Or actually, I think that I got this one so short, you'll probably see it right away. Know of any ideas you'd like us to talk about, or any comments on the show we had tonight, or even previous ones? If you go and look at them, we have 4 or 5 of them up there right now, I believe.
I think this is our 5th one, counting the after midnight. I think I just saw something fly behind your head again.
No,
Similar
no,
to
not
this morning.
again. Really?
We're going to have to look, but yeah, It wasn't in front of you. It looked like the same, similar, but I just saw it go behind your head.
Well, if anybody was on Williams' podcast this morning, I was on there, and we're on Williams' platform. So did everybody see that one, or we'll play it several more times? I just curious if anybody could see it.
Well, you're talking about Gmail, and then about the time you said, about the fifth show, and then that's when you see it just go poof, coming out of the gun.
I'm not so sure if it, people are describing it as a feather. I don't know. I mean, it kind of floated like a feather.
Yeah, but then right when it's right above your head, it's got a thicker form. It's not that thin, skinny little hair feather looking thing. It that changes form right above you and then just zips down. So if it's
Yeah,
something in a breeze, why did it stop and just zip down? It would have kept on going past you.
Yep, that's why some people were saying it kind of looked like a fairy.
Yeah, well, when front porch was slowing it down, it did kind of look like the wings were kind of going zoop and then zip down behind you.
Which is really strange because we were talking to Steve Stockton about fairies.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's
Watch it again.
well, wait a minute. All right, Maggie saw it. 4 criminals saw it. So I'll get that off the screen this time so I don't have to try to do it while the video is playing. Know of any ideas you'd like us to talk about, or any comments on the show we had tonight, or even previous ones? If you go and look at them, we have 4 or 5 of them up there right now, I believe.
Mm-hmm. I think this is our 5th one, counting the after midnight. I think I just saw something fly behind your head again.
No, not again. Really? Not again.
I don't know. It changes shape when it's right above your head. Like it just suddenly stops and then zips down. That's not normal behavior.
So what do you guys in chat think? Do you think it was a cobweb that floated down, or a feather-looking being, or a fairy, a fae, or what's it look like to you guys? Because we're up in the air. I don't really think it was a cobweb because, like I said, we checked this area because it is on our broadcast all the time, so we try to make sure it's clean. And like I said, I switched some of the spheres and crystals around, just to try to make it interesting back there. And I don't know.
Be Kind has a comment. And that's one thing that Tex and them were looking at. They were kind of looking at things kind of look pixelated back there in certain areas.
And that's what kind of made us think that maybe it manifested out of the picture, whatever it was, because I do look at that picture almost every time we do a broadcast, and there's nothing on it. So I don't know what goes on. And Jason actually clipped it out to show the picture between the recording and then the show that we were doing live. And he said you could tell the picture was different that night than what it was when we were doing the live show with them.
And one thing about this picture, that part of the basement, when we had children all over the house, a lot of them were down here in the basement, and that part of the room before we had the pool table was my son's room. Well, he moved out when he was 18, and so we painted it in there and kind of decorated. So that painting has been on the wall for 11 years and has not been touched at all.
Maggie says you got good eyes spotting that real time.
Yeah, I was surprised. I just saw this little white thing and it zipped down behind you. Now the orb, no, we didn't see that live. We were watching the show, and that's when I saw something move and it zipped up to the gun. I went, I just saw something else.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. I mean, it's that's why we watched it so many times to see if it floats in from another area, but it comes right out of that picture. It's so weird.
like Jason was saying, cobwebs stick to things and they're not just going to come flying off of something. And even if there was a breeze, I think we would have seen it kind of move a little bit at the beginning, like it was kind of stuck and then all of a sudden, released itself. It just shot out of there.
Yeah, it's so weird, and then the pixelation almost in the same spot. I think it's the same exact spot where it came out.
And I keep watching over there to see if I start seeing that pixelating.
Yeah, I
What's
guess you
the,
might as well talk about the picture.
briefly, in 1967, I was 5 years old at that time. My father left my mom with 4 kids and they got divorced, and that was his painting. And he left it behind. He didn't take it when he moved out. And I don't recall it hanging in our house anywhere. Even we discussed this with my siblings, and we really don't remember it hanging anywhere. And I told him, I said, I don't think mom would have it hanging in it anyway, especially dad leaving. And so that would be 1987. She moved from Illinois to Montana and was cleaning the home out and asked me if I wanted it. And I said, yeah, sure. So that's the only thing I know of. I don't know where dad got it, why he didn't want to take it with him. So and both my parents are gone now, so I can't ask them any more questions. It's just up to me and the siblings, and the other three, they're older than me. They don't recall it hanging anywhere as when we were kids. So all I know is, yeah, it was my dad's, and my mom gave it to me when she was moving from this area. What is on the shelf under the picture? We've got
What's that?
Chris. What is? Let me see. Be kind asked. What is on the shelves underneath the pictures? We've got crystals, gemstones. We've got spheres. We've got polished stones. There's a picture of my son. There's a picture of my daughter. But there's agate slabs of agate. There's just there's just all kinds of crystals.
Then
And
we do dive into the or delve into the paranormal a little bit. So we did put up EMF meters tonight just to see if they would actually go off if something occurred during this live video.
yeah, you can point them
And
out.
we got that one right there is leaning up against a little sphere. And I checked the whole room with it to make sure that it didn't pick up anything before we started, and it didn't. Then we have on this side, and I don't know if you can see it, right on the shelf, right from the horn straight down, right next to the secretariat. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a little black box there that actually has LEDs on it that light up different colors depending on how strong the EMF signal is. So we were hoping if something happened tonight that those meters might go off.
There's one outside the door by you also. Might turn that one on.
Oh, okay. Yep, I do see it out there. I didn't even know it was there.
And War Criminal, yes, we have a nice collection. I ended up starting out with just these $1 to $3 little stones and raw stones and polished stones, and had them in little, you know, labeled and everything. So, but I ended up being a vendor in a shop, and I was selling crystals and gemstones and agate slabs and geodes. I was selling essential oil singing bowls. And one of these days I might get into that story. That place was haunted. I mean, I experienced so much paranormal in that store. It was crazy. And it was affecting all of us, and especially the owner. And every single one of us could not deal with some things happening and decided to go there at the same time and grabbed all of her stuff and left her place empty. And I didn't want to open up my own shop, and I would have had to travel, and I would have been gone every single day. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to sell them online, and it took us a while to pay off our credit card, but we just decided, well, we'll just keep them, and they're meant to be here. And so I just had crystals and gemstones all over, and it was a business deal that we were really hoping that would be good, and it was really good. I was selling quite a bit every single month of these things. So I guess it was meant to be. I know that's how I look at it. I don't think it was a mistake. I guess we ended up having tons and tons of crystals and gemstones.
Yeah, we got salt lamps almost in every room of the house, and we got spheres and towers and crystals almost in every room, and some show will probably go over all that what we have as far as protection in our bedroom with the crystals and different
Selenite.
gemstones, and we're by all of our electronics where we sit and watch YouTube's basically is what we watch anymore because we don't have cable or anything. We got rid of it, but we have hematite and stuff like that all over to try to absorb all the negative ions and stuff in the air. And
So a lot of it is my own collection that I started, but I did start out with going to these rock shops and finding rhodonite, and then there's green aventurine, and just all kinds of crystal. And then you find out more, and so then I love petrified wood. So we've got some big chunks of petrified wood upstairs, and we've got slabs. And that wasn't that I was selling. I just enjoyed collecting. It was just this mishap in this store that I was supposed to go through. I know we've got to go through things for a reason. It just ended up that I had to keep their extra singing bowls, and I've got tons of essential oils, a lot more than I actually use for myself. It was a lesson learned, so I just kind of go, oh well, it is what it is. That's just kind of how Garo and I both are. We don't let things bother us. Like, well, it happened. We got to deal with it.
basically, you get to the point where it's the stuff that usually happens. A lot of people say, I'm having a bad day, and we look at it. No, you're having a bad 5 minutes. The rest of the day depends on how you want to fixate on that 5 minutes and ruin your day yourself, or you want to move on and just have a good day. That's usually how I am. I just kind of let it roll off my shoulder and smile and just keep on going. So does everybody want the video played again, or you want us to keep talking about our crystal collections? Because I was going to tell you that we do have some really big spheres, and we have an 80-pound Himalayan salt block in the room that you're in.
Yeah.
And like I said, one of these days or evenings, maybe we'll spend time and show some of that stuff. And
I might be able to show this. Hold on one second. Covering up the camera.
All right, we're getting a tour.
No, I'm trying to get. There it is. See this? See the black and white sphere over there? Am I showing it right?
Yeah, I see it.
That is 64 pounds. It's a black tourmalinated quartz sphere. Yeah, I guess you can see it, can't you? So yeah, it's 64 pounds. I felt so bad for that poor UPS kid. When he was trying to carry this thing. Remember how heavy it was?
Should have showed the salt block while you're
salt block one up. Okay. Oh. Okay, hold on. It's back right there. It's a bad angle. This thing is huge. Is that better?
I think the other angle was better.
There.
Oh, that's pretty good right there.
Yeah, right there. This baby is heavy.
Yeah, about killed me taking it downstairs.
So yeah, that was our own collection. I remember he had the owner of that shop. He helped me carry it out, and I said, "Okay." I barely brought it inside, and you ended up having to take it downstairs. Well, if I remember right, that was the day that he had 50% off on Himalayan salt lamps, so we've got it for a good deal, also. So I went there and got one of the biggest ones possible. The monster left.
Yeah, I waved to him, and everybody's been saying bye to him and good night.
Here we got Jimbo in chat. Hi, Jimbo. Welcome
And
in. Who's all over in Williams?
I'm not watching Williams other than what's coming up on screen, and Facebook's not coming up for chats for some reason.
I thought somebody did pop up. That was on Facebook.
I don't know. So does everybody want to see the videos again, or should we keep talking crystals and gems?
Yeah, hold on. Oh, okay, yes. Be kind. Are you on Facebook at all? If not, you can contact me on midwestnightwatchers@gmail.com. Because if you're on Facebook, you can find me and we can message each other. Okay.
So why don't you go ahead and give your info out as
Well,
far as your Gmail or
I mean, Jason and
your
them are already saying it. It's my last name is Fountain, just like a water fountain. You'll find Jane Fountain. Now, if you find one that says Jane Wolf Fountain, that's my main account that I don't use, but I'm using an old one that's just Jane Fountain, and that is only YouTube friends. I'm just using the old one. I don't have any classmates, my family. Geryl's pretty much the only one. I've got 2 people that's passed away on there that I can't delete, so they're still on there. So it's mainly for YouTube. So just look me up. If you still can't find me, you spell Geryl Geryl, and as Geryl D. You have the D in on it?
Yep.
Okay, Geryl D. Fountain, and then I'm on his friend list. So yeah, feel free to send me a friend request, and we can message each other.
So we also have the YouTube channels. Obviously, you're here watching us either on Williams platform or on our channel, the Midwest Night Watchers at YouTube. And we also have Facebook accounts where it's Midwest Night Watchers. You know, we have a group and we have a page, and you can join us there and like it and follow. Or if you want to get a hold of either of us, we each have our own Gmail accounts. I usually watch the Midwest Night Watchers at gmail.com, and
It's on my phone too. It'll pop up if we get an email. And I mean, I've got like maybe 30 friends. So if you're friends with any of this people in this community, you'll probably end up seeing me on their friend list. So I should be able to be easy to be found.
we're gonna do shows, on possibly on Jane's YouTube channel too, do some live ones, not always on Midwest, not always Night Owl at 12 o'clock, but I think we're gonna continue this though, this Night Owl. I kind of like just a laid back, relaxed and talking to people. But on Jane's channel, we'll probably do more of the sound and frequency and healing, and we'll probably get some guests on her show too, whether it deals a little bit with the supernatural, I don't know, but we'll definitely about sound and healing and music and tones and frequencies.
Well, right now I've been kind of behind on videos. I'll be trying to get some videos up, and yeah, I might have a few live shows from time to time in the future. Or I may, when it warms up, I will be focusing out in the backyard also.
Thank you,
Thank
Maggie.
you very much. Thank you.
So you guys will have to let us know in chat, if you guys want to just keep talking like this, or you actually want us to go back to the videos and rewatch them, or we can start just having just a conversation about anything you guys want.
Yeah, and be kind. I know a lot of these things are expensive. I am really shocked that when I started getting singing bowls, it was like 2017, 2018. Now I'm looking at the prices, they're almost double, and I'm going, oh my goodness. So I have extra singing bowls that were for sale that I'm not really using, and I, could definitely hopefully help you out if I could figure out the tone or you know the exact note, because I do have a lot of them labeled on exactly what note they are. And there is a lot of times, they're similar, they're just a little bit off, and a person does go by like, I like that tone. That tone actually affects me more than the other one. So I know what you mean, that if there's a certain tone that you're drawn to.
Now I know since you have used the bowls and tuning forks on me, I feel the deeper tones, the bass, a
Mm-hmm.
lot better than the high.
Yeah, it's just like everyone's different. And it might just be, now is one thing that I didn't talk about on Marty's show, that, we've got 7 chakras, and the singing bowls are related to those, that if you use a low C, which I'm pretty sure that would be a C3, which is kind of hard to explain, middle C, and then you go up and down. But the root chakra is C, and then the next one, the sacral, the lower abdomen would be B, or C, D, and then it goes E for the upper abdomen, and then the heart is F, and then the throat is G, and the third eye is A, and then you go B for the crown chakra, and then I always did the higher C, and just to do all outside. So even the notes of a singing bowl just helps line up your chakras and makes you feel better. Yeah, there's a lot of people like the lower ones. I think there's just something about it. They're soothing. The high ones kind of make it go, oh yeah, that's cute. But when you hear a low one, it's just like you just want to just relax and just shut your eyes and just listen. That's why I like the 7 metal ones. They just keep vibrating and vibrating, and some of them have a higher pitch to them. You can just hear them ringing, and you can hear several different tones. It definitely does something to us.
Yeah, especially if you have an ailment or sore muscles or a hurting back, whether it's lower, upper, or shoulders, or legs, or feet. I think for me anyway, the deeper tones and then the larger bowls that vibrate heavier and longer seem to help relax the muscles and penetrate better. But like you said, though, the higher tones, when we were having like sinus and congestion, and
Mm-hmm.
the deep tone on the chest broke stuff up, but then actual sinus pressure in the head, the higher tones seemed to work better around the head area.
Well, when I was doing the therapy, the lower tones help with the body, but people really enjoyed the higher tones and the really cool little sounds that would be above them and around them. Because I actually had bowls on their body, and then I had bowls all around their body laying on the floor, and I would just bang several of them from time to time and then work on the body. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I don't know. We'll be doing shows, like I said, probably more on Jane's channel on Churro Sounds on YouTube about frequencies and healing and all kinds of stuff. Might even go into tinctures. I don't know, depending on what she wants to talk about.
Now that might be on our. I don't know. I don't know. Do I have to start another YouTube channel? I already have 3. Come on. Just on herbs and essential oils, and no, I got into the holistic. I don't know how you explain it. Everything holistic many years ago. I have mild asthma, and I don't want to go to the doctor. I don't like doctors. I refuse to go to the doctors, and I don't have an inhaler. So I learned and looked up what the different essential oils are, and I make my own blends, and I just smell it, and it opens up my lungs, because I'd rather do something like that than whatever is in these inhalers. And sometimes, stones, crystals and gemstones can be healing. Good morning. Well, how many total do you see? I see 9 for our chat.
There's 12 altogether for all the channels that we got
Okay.
going, I guess.
And there must be about like 3 over on Williams. Okay. Very cool. We do have a lot of night owls. This is really interesting because there were some times that we were like early afternoon. We had like, maybe 5 or 6, but Wednesday evening, maybe we'll just stick with Wednesday.
Yeah, I think we will.
Yeah.
I think we'll start doing the Night Owl special edition. I don't know if you call it special edition anymore if we're gonna keep doing it, but Night Owl into the unknown, and we'll just keep it a light subjects or whatever we get into or whatever the chat. If they give us suggestions, we can bring that stuff up, and I think we'll do it every Wednesday, or try to every Wednesday, and about the same time.
Yeah, well, the first one was at 1 o'clock, but when you come home at midnight, it was like this hour took forever. It was like, okay, come on, we're gonna, and it's like, oh man, it's not 1 o'clock yet. So we decided 12:30. It actually did help, gave you enough time just to kind of relax and be home for a little bit. So I think 12:30 is pretty good. midnight. But it does work out well, especially a lot of the Australian people are here, and some people, a lot of people can't sleep too, just like me. We would be possibly we would be in bed by now, wouldn't we? But I still wouldn't be asleep. So yeah, there's all kinds of people here. That's wonderful. Thank you, everybody. Tonight's mod night.
Yeah, it is. It's been mod night tonight, and I'm trying to see everybody, and
Yeah, and I appreciate the help because there may be a time that, like Steve Stockton, that, I'm glued to the edge of my chair listening to him, and I was the only mod there for a while. Hopefully we won't have any problems or anything, but you never know. Sometimes there is a troublemaker or these bots that come in and start flooding the screen, and now you guys would be able to see it if I'm paying attention to our guests. So thank you very much. We've known you guys for a long time and we trust you.
so yeah, we'll go ahead and stick with Wednesday nights after midnight, and then our normal show that we've been doing has been Sundays at 6 p.m. Central or 7 p.m. Eastern. So we're going to keep that going. So we'll have these two shows probably going all the time now.
And we've got quite a few guests lined up. So if you weren't here earlier, I'll repeat that this Sunday I have Marty from the Nana Boss. And I was just on her show last night and I asked her, we've got this next Sunday free, and she's also free and she's happy to come on. So we've got Marty coming this next Sunday. And there might be another guest, we're not quite sure, so I'm just going to leave it quiet. And if it happens, everybody will know who the other person is. And then after that, we've got quite a few people that are starting to fill in our Sunday night spots.
And I don't know if we'll have anybody on this show as guests unless somebody happens to be up and it's in our chat or something, or wants to come on, and tell their story or whatever we're talking about. We might do that from time to time, but unless, I mean, some of the people we know, they stay up till 3, 5 o'clock in the morning. So we might have a special guest like we would on a Sunday evening too. It just depends on who it is. They might have time in between writing their books or making their shows to pop in at midnight.
Well, we've got a small crowd and we pretty much know everybody in here. We can always post a StreamYard and they can pop on and be on our show.
Yeah, that's true.
So we can do a lot of things late at night on this show. Like I said, we're just more laid back and you just got off of work and we're just relaxed and we're going to chat with our family. We do appreciate everyone. You are like a family to us. We're just, that's why I'm doing this. I feel comfortable to share my experiences with someone. And everyone is so same-minded. You're not going to look at me like, oh my gosh, she's nuts, she's crazy. I feel comfortable that I can actually finally come out and share my experiences, and I have people believing me. And well, actually, now we've got proof with all these live phenomena and little fairy things or whatever is happening. And so far, I haven't seen anything, but we'll watch the replay.
Yep. So that's what this is all about, is sharing with everybody. And me and James always had this common interest in the paranormal, the unknown, whether it's cryptids or paranormal or just things that are weird that we can't explain. And we just watch shows like that and we talk about that stuff, or stuff we see in the night sky that we can't explain or figure out. And we just thought, originally we just shared this stuff with friends and family. And then I don't even really know how it even started. Just we were invited on shows, or I was, to start off with, and we said, hey, this is kind of fun. I think we can have fun with this. And we always kept it as, we want to keep this show as this friendly and get to know everybody. And it's just like sitting around at the kitchen table or out in the living room and on the couch or easy chairs, and just like we're just talking with friends.
Hmm. And just hearing each other's experiences, just like Ward just said, it's just, I I watch shows that some people in chat was the guest. They might have been nervous, but they're saying their experiences, and I know it's a healing, and it might be a healing for someone else. Like, whoa, I experienced the same thing. I'm not the only one crazy. So I did feel a calling to go ahead and do this. When Marty mentioned the girl, like, oh, I'd love to have her on the show. At that time, like, no, I'm not being on live. No. Well, the next night was her show. She saw me in chat and she goes, hey, I'm going to have Cheer on my show. And I went, oh, no. And so I just kind of felt comfortable, like, you're meant to do this. You need to do this. You need to get out. You're going to help people. Maybe someone else will open up and say their experiences. And it's not that bad. I mean, I'm talking to my husband. I see him. It's like a video phone call, even if you do kind of are too busy with chat. But we've known all of you guys for so many months. In everybody's chat, we are like friends and family already. So if I can help someone with an experience, or if you want to share yours, reach out to us.
And even if you don't want to be on the live stream or whatever, you don't have to show your picture. I mean, everybody
Right.
knows that about StreamYard. You can just have a symbol or a
You
picture
can
up
just have your
there, and not
voice.
necessarily you.
Hmm.
Or you can send it to us if you're on our Facebook. Send us a story through Messenger, or send it through our Gmail to us. And if you want us to, we'll read your story for you online. And then we'll start a conversation that way.
Exactly. I think everyone has experienced some kind of weird, strange thing in their life that they cannot explain. Yeah, exactly. You're talking to friends that don't ridicule you. I've had a lot of friends, stop talking to me, don't want to be friends anymore, or look at me like I'm nuts and crazy, or like they don't believe me. So, yep, been there.
Yep, and we noticed, and a lot of other people have noticed, when we had that incident happen not too long ago in 2020, and they told us we had to stay home and be unsocial and don't go out anywhere. We found this whole community of all you guys and all the other shows that we watch every night, and slowly becoming associated with. And it's just nice that this community is so friendly and loving, and they just accept everybody for the most part. And there is a few troublemakers here and there, or people that want to argue, but mostly it's everybody that has the same interest. And even if they don't know a lot about, whether it's Sasquatch or aliens or Bigfoot, Dogman, they're still open-minded enough to know that, okay, if one thing exists, maybe the other thing exists, or I have an interest in this field, but then all of a sudden through all these other shows and other communities, you start opening your eyes and doorways and start seeing other stuff.
And we're all on different levels of learning. There's many people that were just in ghosts and went, oh, I'm not going to get into Sasquatch and Dogman. And then all of a sudden they start getting an interest. Once you go down one rabbit hole, it seems like you eventually start going down more rabbit holes and more rabbit holes and more rabbit holes. And eventually you find out all these rabbit holes lead, it pretty much goes to the same source.
Well, everything's all interconnected,
Mm-hmm.
Once you start seeing or experiencing stuff yourself, or you don't even really have to experience it. You could just be a believer, or you think, this piques my interest, and you start digging into it and start understanding. Then pretty soon, you start realizing, well, if I can believe in Sasquatch, for instance, and that was a big craze back in the 70s and 60s, and it really came up a lot during this time period. And you can start believing and thinking, well, maybe possibly, Dogman is real, and not that I don't think it's real. I believe in it also.
You need to get on your phone. There's somebody that needs a wrench.
There is.
Yeah. It's Texas Front Porch. He's on here. Welcome, Tex. We need to get cowboy hats or something.
Well, I was going to buy one like DA's, but I haven't done it yet.
I mean, everybody has all these cool hats. It's just Tex.
Hi, Tex.
Hi, Tex. Hey, Tex, do you have any extra hats you don't use? No.
We started off talking about all the videos and glitches that's been going on during our live videos here in the last few days, and we kind of ventured off into crystals and towers and spheres, and
then we were talking about the show the other night on the front porch, and we're watching the replay, and then we end up having this little orb fly out of the quilt and go up to the gun cabinet, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, now an orb or something happened on the front porch show. So I was trying to figure out, okay, one thing is a little feather thing coming out of the gun, now it's coming out of the quilt going to the gun. So far nobody has seen anything behind Gerald tonight.
Not yet, anyway. Tex said he was going to drop by if he could tonight, and I'm glad to see he's in here.
Yeah, Tex, I love rabbit holes. I've been a conspiracy theorist pretty much my whole life. And these days, it seems like every single conspiracy theory or rabbit hole, they're all coming true. We're not the crazy ones after all.
So like we were talking before, but this is such a tight-knit community, like family, we've all got to know each other, just like Tex, he's had me on his show, and I've been talking to him, and he's been talking to me, and same thing with everybody else on his platform. You got Blondes and Booze with Christy and Brandy, Krista and Brandy. And then you got Bigfoot Michigan Rob. He's on their platform, and I talked to him quite a bit, and I've been on his show once. And we got Jason Knows Everything, which Bigfoot Michigan Rob's on there, and you can't leave out Donnie Cho.
Yeah, you can't leave out Donnie Cho. Yeah, definitely. That man will make the show funny. I just love all the shows. And you can't forget that Danielle Diva and Tex on Saturdays. Their new show.
Yep, they got Criminal Minds where they dig into not just the acts of the gruesome stuff or the act itself, but they actually could dive into, what makes this person that way. What they try to figure out the psychology of what makes that person tick and why did he do it. Not the actual describe the act, because everybody writes books and shows that kind of stuff, but nobody ever really talks about what was going on in that person's life or the little tidbits that could have led up to that incident.
You're welcome, Tex. We love you. And you're probably at work. So thank you very much for stopping in, letting us know you're here, and thank you for the other night of having Gero on your show. And we all just want to support each other. I just absolutely love this family and this whole community of like 20, 30 people that have shows. I mean, there's so many people that we're all following and watching. So thank you so much for coming in. We just love you.
Thank you,
Thank.
Tex.
Bye. Have a good night at work. Yeah.
So they also have Bob on their platform, and
Mhm.
he talks about everything. You can go to him and talk about writing books or making clay pots or origami or whatever you want. He's pretty much an open platform, and he's just another. It's just like Van Buren's variety show.
Yeah, what's good about Texas show, I mean, you got Texas front porch, but the other day, because I'm a moderator at Rob's, well, somebody came in and said, well, I thought I'd come in and say hi to all you people on the back porch.
I'm just getting ready to say that we're more like back porch
Yeah.
people.
So they're calling Rob's chat the back porch and Texas on the front porch. I just thought that was so funny. Poor Rob, he got thrown on the back porch. Oh my goodness.
That's where all the dogs hang out is on the back porch, or in case they never got to see that show, it could be a unicorn Rob hanging out on the back porch.
Oh my
Poor
goodness.
Rob's not here to defend himself either.
Back porch. Oh, poor Rob. Oh man. Back porch. I can't.
I don't know where to go from there. Whoa.
This is not a surround porch, and we got Donnie Cho on one side. You got Jason on the side porch.
Yeah. You guys stay on your sides of the porch and get along.
Right. Oh wow, that was funny. Poor Rob. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to get a drink on that one.
So yeah, we got a lot of good friends that we've been getting to know that have shows, and we'll probably start possibly making appearances on their shows, but we're definitely going to have them on ours. And so we got quite a few weekends going right now that we got some guests lined up. So we're just going to keep adding people. And like we said, if you guys have experiences on Night Owl, go ahead and let us know. Send us the email, send us the chat and messenger, or however you can get a hold of us if you're our friends, and we'll go from there. And that's how we started, or I did.
And it just goes from there. Like I said, this definitely wasn't planned. My siblings ended up finding out, like, you guys are doing live shows. And I said, it wasn't planned. We just kind of, I don't know, talked about it briefly. And you've been on other shows and you were very comfortable and said, hey, it's easy. You're not really having anybody watching you. You're just talking to the person as a friend, like a phone call.
It's just like our shows. We're not saying in any means or form that we're anything special or have any real insights, or we just have the interest and curiosity and questions, and that's usually what we do. We just like you guys in chat, you just bring up a question, and pretty soon you start a dialogue, or you start. Yeah, like you said, start sharing stuff. We all have the same common interest. We want to know what's in the unknown. And that's why we called our main show Piercing the Veil. So maybe between the insights of the chat or a special guest, we can put put a little piece of the puzzle together and maybe see a glimpse beyond the veil a little.
Right, exactly. Just have an open mind on things, and don't, like I was going to say, even another show, don't take our word for it. You need to do your own research, go down your old rabbit holes, and come up with your own data, and pray on it and ask God, okay, can you show me the truth? And, do your own research. You can listen to people like, oh, that might be true, and then do your own research, and it is out there,
Yep.
and just make up your own decision. Crystals for protection. I'm trying to read all of it. Do you have any recommendations for one or two? That would be really good. Any dark stone is very good protection. Um, Actually, my favorite one is called chiasolite, and it's brown and black, and it usually has a cross in it, and it is a protective stone. And if you look up cross stone, or let me put it in the chat.
Yeah, there's all kinds of good stones and crystals. I mean,
I'm pretty sure that's how you spell it. Or if you look up cross stone,
just like we were talking about, whether it's negativity or you feel like in your body, or something's attacking you, or negativity from, say, the EMFs that your Wi-Fi or cell phone service bombards your house all the time. That's why we talked about hematite and
there's black obsidian, there's tourmaline, there's jets, there's, if by chance you are on Pinterest or even just Google what stones are good for such and such, you will get articles and pictures and images. And that's one way I started out, is I was on Pinterest and I would just type in protective stones, and you come up with these little pictures and shows you like 5 or 6 different stones that helped and protected you. And then I have a crystal encyclopedia. I do have the crystal book 1, 2, and 3, and to look up everything and check out all the properties. And yes, selenite is a very good protective stone. It charges itself. A lot of people use these giant wands that either put it on the foot of your bed to draw out the negativeness while you sleep. But I got some even above my head on our headboard. So there's quite a few different stones that are really good protective stones. But I mainly relied on these books for information, or I went on Pinterest just to get a list of what stones are good for what. And smoky quartz, yes. Oh yeah, I've got quite a few smoky quartz. I got a beautiful smoky quartz sphere. So that's another one.
Just about all quartz at one way or another has good properties to it. Whether you do the rose quartz or any of them, they all have that protective and tranquil feeling to them. And
yep,
evidently everybody likes the crystals and stuff, because I'm having a hard time keeping up with the chat.
I'm just trying to think if I have something like that down here. I might, but I'd have to get behind you.
Yeah, there's certain crystals and stones that charge other stones, whether they take the negativity out of what they've already absorbed out of your house or your body, and they'll clear that stone. And, there's also people that talk about, charge your stones in the moonlight, we've done that before. But quartz and, what were you just saying? Cellulite or
Selenite?
Yeah, that it charges things also.
Are you able to see the cross in that?
Not really.
That you can't on the phone?
I can see your phone, but it's hard for me to see it.
Okay. Let me see if I can see the cross in it.
Yeah, that's better.
All of these stones, they're called cross stones, and old ancient soldiers would have them for protection, like during war. They're all different shapes, but there's always that cross in it. Let me see if some. Oh, that's an interesting one. You can see the cross on top. And so it's called chiastolite, and just look it up, and it's a very good. That's a pretty one too. Just a gorgeous protective stone. You can find them polished. And I have a raw one, but you can't really see the cross that well in it. But that's one of my favorites. If I feel like there's a friend or family or someone mad at you and you just kind of feel that heaviness on you, I really do like using the chiastolite. See, I like to use my crystals, yes, when meditating, and sometimes I do that too, and I just feel like, what am I drawn to that day? So I have, I guess they're jewelry trays. Is that what they're called, Carol? That, there's these little trays, and they've got all kinds of little squares in them, and they
Yeah,
fit one.
it's like specimen trays that people
Yeah.
use for either jewelry or stones or
And so I got
whatever.
one or two in them, and then I've got index cards, and I wrote the names on them, and so if I just look at them and, something's drawn to me, and then I pick that up and use it for meditation. And I can't meditate and clear my mind. My mind goes nuts and crazy. That's why I can't sleep for about 4 or 5 hours when we go to bed. So, but I focus on just kind of calming, just relaxing and closing my eyes. And the same thing when I went to metaphysical shops, they usually were in these little glass, the custard little glass bowls, and they just had this table just filled with crystals and gemstones. So some people just grab one and go, "Oh, I want one." No, I'd put them in my hand and I would see if it would feel right. And I felt a connection with those stones. And I went, okay, that's the one that I want to buy and take home with me. So I kind of made sure I was drawn to that stone. I didn't always get the pretty ones. Sometimes I got the ones that with the defects and the cracks. And I just thought, okay, you're special. You need to come home with me. Just like, you're drawn to them.
Go ahead and tell them about the moldavite because that kind of goes along with that.
No, moldavite, oof.
No, I mean about the experience that you guys did
That we've
with
been
me in
having.
the gym shop, and
Yeah, it's just moldavite can be real strong. You got to be really careful. It's also extremely expensive. I mean, the first one I got was this tiny little chunk, and it was like $50. I mean, they're expensive. But back then, this was quite a few years ago when I started this. You were kind of at the point of, oh, it's a stone, and you just and I
well,
have my
I thought everything was pretty, but I didn't really
right.
get into the characteristics and what
Hmm.
their properties were.
Well, I'd put it in your hand and you really didn't feel anything. When I'd put it in my hand, that moldavite, you can just feel tingling and I mean, you can feel things in your hand. So we went to a metaphysical shop, and she was a friend of mine. And she said, well, if you go to my other shop, my daughter's working. She said, go have her do this test on moldavite. So we went there and she knew exactly what her mom was talking about. So she put the moldavite and circled around girl's head and made sure it was just kind of connecting to him. And she went kind of in the front, kind of went in the back. And so then she put it a few inches away. I would do it like this, a few inches away. And when she pulled it, you can see him with his eyes closed, not knowing, pull towards it. And so even if you kind of push it, you kind of feel something pushing you. So she did it from behind, and he felt himself going back. There's very interesting things with moldavite, but you've got to watch not wearing it in your necklace or having it in your hand for too long. It's like a moldavite flush, I think is what they call it. That you can kind of get sick and upset stomach. You've got to, when you do get one, use it at a very small time, at a small amount, and kind of get used to it.
Oh man, I'd like to have an obelisk of moldavite. That'd be cool. I've
Oh,
never seen one. I
wow.
always see the chunks or the little pieces
Right.
of them.
Well, I've seen them kind of flattened out in necklaces and jewelry and stuff now. But yeah, it's a very interesting stone. And the other one, I'm trying to hold on, let me think. Teakite. It's a black stone. I'm pretty sure it was teakite that you should be buying also with your moldavite because it goes well with it. It's like a protective stone with moldavite. And remember, That's why we went to that store that one day, because we actually went and got that little piece of black teakite to go with my volibite that I had at home. So yeah, Google. I don't like Google too much, but you can just Google search anything and look up certain stones and ask for the meanings and properties, and you can get all kinds of information online. Some of this is still in my head, but I don't remember every single stone, every single name. Jasper, my goodness, there's so many different kinds of jaspers, and I mean there's still so many stones. I stopped buying the little polished ones. I got so many trays. But yeah, there's gemstones are very interesting, and just think, I mean, our creator, God, great spirit, whatever you want to call them up there. I mean, these are from the earth. They were in the ground. They're here for a reason, not to be pretty and all of us go, ooh, ah. Yeah, well, yeah, you got, like I said, I've heard some bad stories. There was another store owner, that's right, she's the one that was telling me that she messed with it too long and she actually really got sick. And then she looked it up and asked a friend, and she does what? Yeah, that's called a moldavite flush, or it was something like that. And she said you cannot use it for a long time because it is from, oh, if I remember, it comes from a meteor. So it's actually, the moldavite is actually an outer space stone. So it's definitely not from this earth. It, am I remembering right? Yeah, it comes from from meteor. And if anyone is interested, be careful when you buy moldavite because there's all kinds of fake moldavite out there. It looks like green glass. And you really get a magnifying glass or look up at the light, and you've got to see these little bubbles on the inside, and that will definitely show that that's real moldavite. And go ahead and do that test. Hold it and kind of mess around and see if you feel that pulling towards it, or see if you kind of push behind. And that will be a good test that it's a really true moldavite. My first crystal is an untumbled. Yes, a lot of people don't. When I was selling them, I had raw and polished. Some people like the polished, some people like the raw. They felt more energy and more properties on the raw. So yeah, a lot of my collection is polished and the untumbled. Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the moldavite. That's one reason why I got it, because I kind of wanted more of oh wow, that is about the time we were starting to have things in the backyard, isn't it? Because I've had that moldavite for quite a few years. Interesting. Yep. Yeah, all the colors mean things, and even the ones that are shaped, obelisks and towers, people use them in grids. And there's just all kinds of different, even clear crystal. There's so many different kinds of clear crystals too. It was just fun adventure just learning all this.
Yeah, it's definitely been interesting to collect these things and selling them and just having them around every day. It's kind of nice having all the different things, and you can change them out like I've been doing for the shows. Just to kind of make it more interesting for everybody. And
Very pretty. That's why I used them in a lot of my music videos.
I can't hear.
Oh, thank you. This has been the last several years. Like I said, buying the books, the encyclopedia books and things like that really does help. And I loved Pinterest. I haven't been on Pinterest much now, but I have all kinds of things saved on there and all kinds of different crystals and gemstones and mixing and matching them up. And
It's talking about this one.
which one?
Darcy asked about if it's a chairlight spear next to the pyramid salt lamp.
Yeah, that should
That's
be
amethyst.
that's amethyst. That's our amethyst sphere.
I don't know if that's a better, you can see a little bit of the white and the purples and
Yeah, we've got all kinds back there.
yep, Chiro's the brains of the operation.
Mm-mm. You're the one that watches YouTubes and shows and movies, and you're just so knowledgeable, and you've helped me out an awful lot. And I don't feel like like I said, I can't name this and name that and name the properties. Like I go in her name is Amy. She had 4 crystal shops and she ended up closing up one. You go in there and ask her something, she can list off, oh, it does this and this and this and this and this and this and this, and she knows all the properties. And I'm going, so I always rely on my books and I look them up, and they usually help a lot. And I
Jimbo
think
said
you
he had
got,
a banshee encounter.
huh?
Jim, I just put up on the screen. Jimbo said he had a banshee encounter.
Oh, but going back to the books, are there still books behind you, or did I take them upstairs? Is there an encyclopedia on the shelf?
Yes.
Now you can grab that giant encyclopedia. That's a very common one that a lot of people have, and show them. You can get it on Amazon. That is probably one of the best ones.
This one?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. They can
I
get
don't
that
know if
on
you can see it
Amazon.
though.
Yep, you can. Yeah, the Encyclopedia of Crystals by Judy Hall. That is an amazing encyclopedia that you can find on Amazon. And that has helped a lot. It just explains all the colors and all the properties and everything you need to know about the stones.
It's got
And
273 actual pages
gorgeous pictures
of
in them.
the
Yes,
stones, and
there
it
is
explains.
gorgeous photos.
So it's got pictures of almost every stone and what their characteristics and what. Well, it says right. Oh, well, let's read quartz right here. It says crystal. The quartz is a crystal system. It's a hexagonal. The hardness is 7. The source is worldwide. The chakra harmonizes all, aligns the aurora, and all different types. It says the zodiac sign is all. It says the planet is the sun and moon. Then it just goes through. It has a big paragraph almost on every one. It just has a big thing about what the Greeks and the history of it is and what they used them for. But they just have really nice colored pictures if everybody can see.
Now it breaks down into colors in that book. So if you have a certain color stone, you're able to find it better. But
So
that is one of my favorites.
the edge is color coded. I don't know if you can see
Yeah,
it.
it's color coded so you can find the color crystals. But that's one of the most popular that even a lot of my friends and all the rock shop owners, they would have that book out so you can look at it
So
while
you
you're
can-
picking out your stones.
Yeah, so the green section obviously is the green, and you got yellow. Then you got the red and orange for like jaspers and jades and garnets.
Good night, War. Thank you for coming. We love you. Thank you so much for being here.
But then you can get the little ones too.
Yeah, the first one is the best one, but there is 3 of them. Yeah, the first one's called the Crystal Bible, and then you can get the set of 3. There's a number 2 and a number 3. So that one is actually nice. It's a lot smaller, and most of the rock shops that I went into in our area usually had that book available also, that you can kind of look up and look at things before you actually purchase and buy the stones.
This one has 360 pages of each thing, and says basically the same thing as the big book did about all the characteristics, and it's broke down in colors. And
So that's pretty much how I got my knowledge. The books actually helped a lot. And then I went through and there are
there you go. I
certain
do
ones
like
that
that one, the Howlite.
there's certain ones that was drawn to me. So I'd kind of get a sticky note and I'd mark and I'd make a list and I'd go to the rock shop and say, okay, do you have this one? And you have this one? Do you have this one? And sometimes I couldn't find them. Sometimes I could.
The only good thing about this book is it does
With the
show you the
hematite.
difference between polished and raw,
Mm-hmm.
what it might look like in the store or when you find it.
So that's definitely is how I've learned is I rely on the books and sometimes Pinterest or sometimes just Google, properties behind these certain stones and you can get information. Same with if anybody watched my show last night on Marty's about the Hertz and stuff. I just learned that by watching YouTubes and Googling it, and you'll find articles and go down that rabbit hole, and you'll get your information. Thank you very much. Yeah, amethyst is one of my favorite.
I've missed a lot of chat holding up the book.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it
sorry,
kind of
sorry, everybody.
it blew up there for a while. Sorry about that.
So we could probably do that too. We could probably bring up a crystal or a stone and read out of the book. And
Cool. Maggie said that book is available in Australia. She's going to order it. Yeah, that's a wonderful book. It's a very common and popular book. So I actually relied on the large one and the small one. And it might get you in trouble because you're going to find all kinds of stones like, oh, I wish I could find that. And I wish
yeah,
I could find that. Well, like I said, I'd have a list and I'd go and say, hey, Amy, you got this, you got this, you got this. And sometimes she did, sometimes she didn't. And all stores are different. They don't have the same stones. And then when I was selling them, I was getting all kinds of unique, interesting stones that wasn't the main popular ones or the common ones that you would see in most stores. So that's how I kind of get into the chiastolite and learned about that. And I ended up buying them, and those actually did sell well. Everybody really enjoyed those. They're just a beautiful stone with a cross in it. And it's also a good protective stone.
well, we're coming up on the 2 hour mark.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's almost 2:30 for us here. Well, I really appreciate this. We've got some good people, and we can keep on going for a few minutes if everybody wants to.
Well, if everybody wants to hang out, we don't have to leave right away. I don't.
We don't, like I said, we don't have a set schedule. We just sleep in and we'll just wake up whenever we wake up in the morning.
Well, I'll probably wake up early just because out of
Well,
habit. But
well, you fall asleep within a couple minutes. I'm the one that's tossing and turning, and I'm up there and I keep thinking of this and keep thinking of that, and I'm up for a few hours. Dog starts kicking.
so if you guys want us to hang out for a little bit longer, we can go a little bit longer. Or if you guys are had enough of us and are, I don't know, whatever we're talking about, crystals or orbs or
Now we get into a few different things. That's what's fun about these chats. We can just start talking about this subject and talking about that subject, and somebody can bring something up in chat, and we can go off and. Uh, all right, be kind. Signing off for the night. Thank you. We love you. Thank you so much for showing up and being a part of our show. We'll be doing some more late nights since there's a few people that's actually is on.
well, we're glad we kept you company, Darcy.
Yeah, I really appreciate the friendship and just fellowshipping with each other. This is wonderful. So I've got 7 over here. What do you have for total? I just wish I could
10.
see William Nighthawk's chat. I don't want to have my phone up. I'm going to have all kinds of chats right in front of me.
Yeah, I have 10 right now.
Okay, so there's still 3 extra. Oh, very good. I hope they're behaving themselves over in that chat.
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to get multiple screens up all at the same time, I guess.
I know I might have to. I mean, I do have my phone here. I can check it out. But well, you're able to see it though. That's the nice thing. When somebody does talk over there, you're able to see them. So they must be behaving on the other chat. I'm trying to catch up with some of the chat also. Well, we did better with the chat and communicating with you guys and
Well,
answered some good questions and helped with some gemstones.
I mean, that's what I want to do with Night Owl anyway. I want it to be a more chat friendly. Not that our Sunday show isn't going to be like that, but it's just harder when we know Sundays we're going to have guests for sure on,
Right.
and we're going to rely on mods or even while one of us is talking, either you pay attention to what chat you can see, and I'll try to do the same as you're talking or whatever. But this one definitely is going to be more chat oriented and try to get their comments up and ask, answer whatever questions, or maybe they can answer our questions. I don't know. It goes both ways.
Yeah, Derek says I'm a night owl. I don't sleep much. It just seems like I don't either. It's almost sometimes 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, last night was 6 in the morning. I was hearing the birds outside, and I was about ready just to get up and make coffee, but I ended up finally crashing. I didn't hear him get up at what it was after 12. Yeah, I that was my dead zone. I mean, I can't sleep sometimes. There is times that I do get up and I do an all nighter, and I drink some coffee and then I get my wind and I have energy and I keep on going. I don't take a nap because if I take a nap, I'll definitely not sleep the night before. So yeah, sleeping is definitely a problem for me. And I think we've heard other people on shows, it's like they're up, they can't sleep, they only sleep a few hours. I think was it Steve Stockton said he only sleeps like 3 or 4 hours a night because he's just so busy doing other stuff.
Yeah, I think he might probably do cat naps here and there in between, and he can only sleep so long, and he gets up and start doing more. I mean, he does shows all the time, so he's
But
always.
if I do a nap, I won't be tired that night. So I gotta force myself to stay up all day if I do one of these all nighters and I
Well, look at
just can't
that!
sleep.
Look who just showed up.
Well, hey, sleep we don't need. No stinking sleepy. Coffee, coffee, coffee. Yeah, I love my coffee. Right. He drinks a whole pot during his show. Yeah, he's another one that's up. Well, welcome. Well, he's in his chat, isn't he?
Yep.
Oh, now everybody has to behave over there. William showed up. Yeah, he probably thought, okay, we gotta check out, make sure everybody's behaving. William showed up. He'll make sure everybody's taken care of and being nice. And yeah, we'll all start drinking coffee and we'll be up for another hour. Hey, thank you, William.
We made a bunch of mods tonight, William, on our YouTube.
Yeah, William needs to figure out how to do mods. So maybe you can show him how. Ended up having a good turnout. And we had a few on Facebook, right? You said a few people showed up on Facebook.
Yeah, we had quite a few. I mean, total on the screen here for me, I think we got up to 12 or 14 people at one time. Then people dropped out and more people came in, and they drop out and more people would come in.
Mm-hmm. And pop in and pop out.
So I think I didn't make this till what? Was it yesterday or today early this morning before I went to work? I think I made it.
Yeah. I'm not sure when you actually sculpted it.
But that's actually a pretty good turnout for as short as it was. Short notice, anyway.
I figured there was quite a few people out there that was still wide awake. Well, the first time, this is our second one of the late night. So even the first one, I think that's when Duke showed up and we were getting ready to cut it short. And here comes Duke, and we ended up being on for a long time talking to him, and ended up being a long show. So yeah, I really like these late nights and just laid back. I probably should have made some coffee. William probably is drinking coffee, aren't you, William? Hmm? 36 hours a day instead of 24.
Wow.
It's just, I'm probably not the only one that thinks that these days are going by faster and faster also.
Well, we've talked about that too, about when you're in grade school or, sitting in class or whatever, then, it seems like days and hours just take forever. But then the older you get, the faster time seems to slip by. Now, whether that's our perception or what it is, I don't know. But I remember mom and dad talking about that also.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes I wish there was longer days so you could actually sleep longer.
We don't know who to make moderators
Susie
either,
B.
William.
Hi, Susie B.
You can start with us.
What? What did he ask?
He says he doesn't know who to make mods. I said you can start with us.
We're not over in the chat. Well, I can be. And you can explain to him what, because he's not on StreamYard. Is he on YouTube itself in chat?
He's in right now. I don't know. Let's see. He's in his YouTube
All
channel,
right.
in the High Strangest podcast channel.
Right. And I just typed in, I said, I'm here.
So all you have to do, William, is click
Susie
on
B.
her
Darcy.
name, click on Churro, and it'll come up with a way to, it'll say mod and all that stuff.
Well, it asks for two mods or two different types, right? So you got to explain that. What did it say? Standard mod and something else?
Standard and managing.
Yeah, managing would be like his wife, or, somebody. And then
Somebody
standard
you
is
want more control of. And then the standard mod is just you can take down messages or put somebody in timeout.
yeah. So yeah, on your or mouse or what you click on it and then you just pick that you want them as a mod. More experiences in life makes time go by faster. So now I am double chatting.
Hi, Susie. Susie, if you come over to Midwest Night Watchers and our YouTube chat, we can make you a mod.
Jimbo said, I'm sorry, that was an accident. I'm not sure what Jimbo said. What did Jimbo do?
I did not see it.
Yeah, what'd you do, Jimbo? I don't see anything. It just says, I'm sorry, then it says, that was an accident. I don't want to.
I don't know. I didn't see it, so I guess you're okay, Jimbo.
So yeah, now I'm on my phone. I got a tablet. I gotta look at the camera. No wonder everybody has these computers and they've got all these screens and they're just right here.
Yep.
I don't see any mods yet. William hasn't figured it out.
Did you click on her name yet, William?
Click on their name or is it right click if he's on a mouse? That makes me wonder. Or here, we just click on the name, right?
I got a touch screen, so I just touched.
Okay, he figured it out.
Did he?
All right. I just got the mod thingy.
All right.
There you go. All right, I've got a wrench. Now you know how to do it. Woohoo! You've got a mod in your chat. Yay! Hey, Susie B came over here. Hi, Susie B. She's chat hopping also.
All right. Now she's a night owl. There you go, William. There's
All
me.
right, William. All right, Midwest Night Watcher. You really think William's going to give you a wrench?
I know. I don't blame him.
Well, let's just see if you get a notification and you get a ranch. He might say, no, I'm not going to give Midwest Night Watchers a ranch. No, just you.
Yeah, he's gonna make me work for it.
Oh my. Well, we're doing it 2:30 in the morning. We're showing William how to make mods for his chat. All right. Yeah, you're welcome, Susie B.
All right, I'm a managing moderator. Thank you, William.
All right, I gave him a thumbs like while I'm over there. Everybody
He's-
thumbs like both channels.
He's gonna end up going crazy like we did. We probably gave out almost to everybody, I think, that we saw.
Well, that one night on, I think it was Marty's show, she had those bots come in and they were just, I mean, when they came in, they were just flying. And so she just ended up being every single person in there ended up being a mod. It's like, you're a mod, you're a mod, you're a mod, you're a mod. And between all of us, we did get rid of those bots, and I don't think they've been back. But it was a bad night. They'd come in like 10, 20 at a time and just fill the screen. So you definitely do need the help. Well, cool. Now is the shoe.
I don't know what.
What are you trying to figure out?
Oh. Well, I have to use a tablet, evidently.
For what?
That'll go to all platforms. If I type on while the stream's going on, compared to if I just type on my phone.
Well, William is on here. Why don't you ask him how do you save StreamYard afterwards to have a list of your StreamYards?
See, now it just showed up on all the Facebooks and everything. Now it popped up on my screen.
So you see everybody now.
Well, I
Right?
see what I said on everybody's on
Oh, you
all
see.
Williams platforms.
Oh, you typed in it's showing up on all of them. No, it's just showing up on yours. This one.
Oh,
Same thing like what Rob was doing. Yeah. So you said hi everyone. It's in this chat. I don't see it over on Williams. I wish there was a way you could do
this
that.
one shows on Williams Facebooks and YouTube's.
Really? Because I'm in his chat. I don't see you saying hi everyone.
Oh, I don't know then. Well, let's talk about something else besides how to work StreamYard.
Oh, that's cool. But Williams got mods. Wow, it's 2 hours and 10 minutes. My goodness.
Yeah, we probably should go ahead and end it since we're just talking about StreamYard anyway.
Now kind of slow down on everything we were talking about. So I guess next time we'll be next Sunday, 6 o'clock Central, at 7 o'clock Eastern. We will have Marty the Nanaboss. And the other Sundays we'll schedule and let you know. We've got quite a few people lining up here. And the Wednesday nights, if we do this every Wednesday, every other Wednesday, will just be no guests. We're just gonna come on and see what you guys want to talk about, and we'll have a few things that we want to talk about.
Unless somebody in chat wants to come on while we're doing it, and
Or
whether
that
it's
too.
Susie B or whoever, and if they want to come on, we'll have them on, and we'll just have a talk. Let's have a chit chat.
Thank you, Susie B. We've got tapestries all over the basement. I've got moose, and I've got trees, and I've got paths. Gerald's got a really cool one. Well, you were on that one a couple shows, weren't you? The real purple, pretty.
Yeah, the Indian dream catcher is purples and blues and pinks, and
Yeah, so we've got tapestries all over down here, and when I do my music videos, I like to be behind all different ones, and I kind of make different backgrounds for my videos. So what was that other one you just had popped up? I saw
What?
something. All right, so love your background. So actually, I thought there's a couple on the pool. There's a few that we don't even have up yet. I've got my wolf one on the pool table, isn't it? It's underneath all the
Yes.
monitors. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got a big giant. That wolf one is cool. I probably should take one of these down and put the wolf one up. But yeah, thank you. I've always loved Native American Indian stuff, and you know, I did learn if you want tapestries, they're cheaper on Amazon. I went to, metaphysical shops. Oh my goodness, some of them are expensive. And be careful and look at the measurements because there was a couple that showed up really tiny, and I kind of went, "Oh, I really thought that was supposed to be bigger than that." So look in the description and make sure the measurements are big.
That's all right, Susie B. My name is Gerald with a G,
Yep, it's
but
Geryl, Gerald. Some people say
that
Gerald.
happens all the time, so don't.
Yep.
It doesn't offend me.
Some people, well, some people say Gerald with a D, yeah. And then confuse you with your brother because your brother's Daryl. So we have a Daryl and a Gerald. So yeah, people get confused too. Like, you're Gerald? No, I'm Daryl. And then vice versa. So it's a different spelling. His mom had the YL on the end, so the Daryl is Daryl, and then did she come up with the G? Because she kind of wanted you guys to, or did
Yeah,
she actually see it somewhere?
no, she made that up. She didn't want it to be a Gerald or just a normal name.
And just a YL. She liked those YLs, so she just Geryl. So it's a hard G, Gerald, not Gerald. But hey, you go by anything. Nobody can say Midwest Night Watchers, let alone your real name.
Yeah, I mean that you can just call me G if you don't want to pronounce my name or not really sure. But I I don't get offended by it. If you're talking to me, I know you're talking to me, and I'll reply or answer.
Mm-hmm.
William.
Now what? Oh, I'm on my phone. What is he saying? A Gerald. StreamYard is so weird. In order to save videos, I save it to Facebook too. I have to pay StreamYard for more space soon. Yeah, because we were told that you can go on StreamYard to your past shows and you're able to make shorts and edit and clip them out. And he went, and none of ours are saved yet, so we got to figure out how to do that. But we still ended up getting them and clipping them down. But so far, I don't think I've seen any little fuzzies or anything floating by your head or.
Nope, nobody in chat said anything, so I guess we're okay tonight. Have you noticed us freezing up at all? I haven't noticed us freezing up at all.
But there was times that we didn't see the freezing up until we watched a replay.
Oh,
So
all
maybe
right.
we're not seeing it, but maybe they're seeing it.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think there's something in the airways because our son was on for a little bit this afternoon on Twitch, and he was breaking up and stuff, and I kind of he normally didn't through Twitch, and he ended up I think lost connection or something, and he went off. So it just seems like everybody's freezing up and they're breaking things up and moving in and out, and it hasn't buffered since. Okay, well, good. The other night, yeah, we're starting to notice our first few. I mean, they've been absolutely perfect, and then these last few, yeah, we're starting to freeze up and break up, and I'm thinking, now what? We're not doing anything different. Or the bad guys are watching us now, and they're going to make us have problems.
Darcy's still driving. How long of a drive do you have?
Well, you have an hour drive home. I'm still driving. Oh my goodness.
One of these nights, I might actually mount my phone have it on the dash and just live stream the drive home.
That'd be the night you hit a deer.
See, now
You'd
you
be,
ruined it. Not
you'd be on live. Yeah, all of a sudden, boom. Yeah, great live show. Because you do see a lot of deer on the way home. You got
I
an
do.
hour drive in the country roads.
I see everything from cats to possums, the coons, the foxes, the deer, and luckily I see the deer all in the same spots. But it is like 8 or 9 different spots all the way home because there's nothing but fields all the
Yeah.
way home.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
They
William said
think
he
she
hasn't seen
goes.
any freezes.
Well, good. Maybe it was part of the solar, some of the solar flares was messing a bunch
Maybe
of us up.
maybe it was the Fae and
Yeah.
the floating feather, or I don't know.
Well, just we're gonna have to watch the replay because we didn't see that little orb thingy that one night. We saw that after the replay. So now we had a strange little arm flopping all over that was probably something on your camera, but then we've got a little fairy attacking your head, and then we've got an orb coming out of the black and white quilt.
Yeah, Williams right. There has been a lot of solar activity
Yeah.
and flares. So I mean, we did have the aurora borealis here in Illinois and southern Illinois. And even beyond that, it went pretty far south.
That had to have been a pretty big solar flare to make the northern lights be that strong. So I bet you that is interfering with all kinds of everyone's internet and live shows because it does seem like it's a lot better tonight.
And
Interesting.
I just read an article tonight that they say that the sun is going to be at its peak for solar flares coming up here pretty soon. Either this year or next year, it's going to reach its maximum and start shooting out flares all over. Then it's going to start its cycle back down.
Then get better?
Yep.
Huh,
So it's all
interesting.
about us. It's all about, just like everything else in life, it's all about cycles.
Yeah, it is unusual. I've only seen the northern lights twice in my life. Once when I was a little child and mom woke me up. No, probably in the 60s. Woke me up and I do remember seeing them. And then the last time I've seen them, you and I were dating, and that would have been like 19 years ago. And there's been times that they say, "Oh, there's a chance we would be out there looking and looking and looking." We missed it the other night. I went out a few different times. So we could have been able to see them the other night, but we missed them. But yeah, we're two down south.
Darcy says she's home safe.
Oh,
So
good.
let's have to watch the replay for the floaty things.
All right. I'm glad you got home safe. So yeah, how far down did you say that people were seeing them?
Definitely southern Illinois. I don't know if I'm assuming it went even below that.
Wow.
And that's very unusual.
I just wish we would have caught them in time because we did go out there several different times to try to check. 30-40 minute drive. Yeah, Giro has an hour drive to work and an hour drive home, so he's got to really be careful with the animals at night going through the country.
Yeah, otherwise, we would have been starting this at 12.
No. Well, folks, it has been fun, but it is 2:51.
Well,
It is almost 3 o'clock in the morning. The little white thing behind G just moved towards the edge.
just now or in the earlier?
Which little white thing? I want the EMF meters to come off. Come on. If there really is something going on, I was hoping the EMF meters would go back and go beep, 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 beep on live show. That's because
lumberjack.
it's a lumberjack. He does look like a lumberjack tonight. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness.
But he said it the side of the salt lamp. Huh.
The little white thing, I mean, down lower, you do have an EMF meter up there. Is that the little white thing? Or on the side of the salt block? Because the EMF meter is up there. Point to it and ask William if that's what he's talking about. Yeah, we're trying to see if our EMF meters will go off tonight.
Hasn't been very active though.
Outside my far right, near the corner. He said yes. So did you see a light blink or did you see it move? Because yeah, we've got spirit EMF meters just to see if they'll set something off while we're on live. But that one actually that you're holding, that actually has a meter going back and forth, don't it?
Yeah.
So maybe that's
And
interesting.
this one we had on the other side. This one actually has different colors, and the lights go off depending on what the activity is.
Yeah, we're gonna have to watch the replay and really watch closely.
So we set both of them up just to see if anything would happen.
Yep, nothing beeped yet. Huh, interesting.
Well, it's 2:53 a.m. here, and I think at 3 o'clock we'll just go ahead and end this. And
Yeah, 2.5 hours. So it's been our longest show.
I still like that.
No, I can just tell I'm starting to get a little tired.
He said it slid about 2 inches.
Interesting. Maybe, well, if somebody touched it, moved it, why wouldn't the thing go off? Doggone it. Interesting. We're going to have to watch it because they were sitting pretty good up there, weren't they?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, we were going to have to definitely watch the replay and check that out. And then somebody else mentioned that they were kind of seeing, not really glitchy. What would you call it? Over there by the quilts. Now what? Oh, hell, drink more coffee.
My RC's empty.
I'm drinking water. I'm keep the if we stay up, keep this up. I'm about ready to light up a smoke and smoke on live air. I know if people do. Pixelated. Yes, thank you. Yes, somebody noticed that they were noticing some things pixelated behind you. So we're definitely gonna have to watch the replay and not look at our pretty faces. We'll look at the backgrounds.
And it could be that maybe the tablet has streamed, for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and it maybe the memory's getting full of trying to manage everything. I don't know.
Well, you said you restarted yours and kind of rebooted it the other day, and it still kind of
I
seemed
did.
like you froze.
But it still takes a lot of stuff to stream live, and it has to process and handle everything all at one time, the chats and going out to all the channels. And
I have a feeling it was that solar flare, because since it was such a big solar flare this last time. I think it was messing up with a lot of people's streams and the crazy world we're living in. Well,
I don't know.
are you reading chat?
I am.
Yep.
And Maggie's the last one for mine.
William, the last one was about drinking coffee.
I got Maggie that said pixelated.
Oh, that's in our chat. Well, I've got William on my phone, and I've got our chat on my other tablet, and then the camera on this tablet. I've got too much going on here, man.
Better read that.
You guys have two entities. in that place, one old and one younger.
Well, somebody said they saw a face that looked like a little boy in the picture of the gun when it was
Right.
pixelated.
And I can't think of, someone asked if we lost a 6-year-old boy. And I said, no, we did not lose nobody in the family.
But that doesn't mean previous owners or somebody hasn't.
Well, they were older people that owned here, lived here before. I don't know, older and younger. Well, the only thing I could think of is, yeah, that is Dad's picture of the gun picture when that little fairy thing came flying out of the picture the other night, and went behind her head. My father is passed. I did lose an uncle just a few weeks ago, and it makes me wonder how long people actually hang out, before they actually go through the light or go home. So it makes me wonder if my uncle's kind of showing up here and there, but a young one, that's what kind of throws me off.
Yeah, that one's baffling. I don't know.
But if Dad was attached to that photo or the print or whatever that is, why didn't he take it with him? I mean,
Maybe he left kind of in a hurry, then never really thought about getting a photo after
that
that,
might
but
that
he
might
got
be
other stuff.
that might be maybe he didn't get everything and didn't realize it. I don't know. All I know is when Mom was moving from Illinois to Montana, she was cleaning the house out and said, "Here, do you want this? It's Dad's, your dad's." And that's the only history that I know. So he left in 1967. I don't know the history before that. And also, that painting has been moved for 11 years. It's been up there for 11 years, right in that exact same spot.
Well, William just said everything that we just talked about. Older man and young boy, 6 to 10 years old. And that's kind of weird because we haven't, other than what we talked about, maybe a past relative, right after have came and visited, we just sense that, or I think you've had a feeling that they've talked to you or
Hmm.
intuition or whatever, but we've never had a young presence that we've felt or known of, and we've
We
never
haven't
really
had a
had
young
any.
we haven't had a young person in either your side or my side. We haven't had a young child pass away. So
And
that's
just like we talked before, that we haven't really had any poltergeist experiences where we've had slamming doors or opening doors or cupboards or stuff
right.
really misplaced or out of place or
Well, I do have a very strong gift of discernment, and I've had that since I was very, very young. I can sense dark, evil spirits in a house or someone having dark spirits on them. So I don't feel that with this. So whatever it is, I think it's friendly, benevolent. I mean, we're not, yeah, like I said, I'm not getting the creeps. We're not having strange things happening. Things aren't flying off the shelves, except what William just saw possibly move. Hmm. Well, we know the previous owners, the first ones were only here for a little bit, and they were older people. They didn't have kids. And then the owners of this field, they were an older couple. And we know that family too. None of them, there's no experience of a young child in that family that passed. And then they were in a nursing home. It was empty for a while. And then his son ended up selling it to us. And the family, it's a granddaughter's husband that actually owns the field now. So it's still in the family. So I don't recall anything in their family that he was a young boy. So we do kind of know the history of the house. So they're older people.
well, it doesn't necessarily have to be somebody from this house though. It could have been like we talked about previous tenants or maybe just
Mm.
somebody from the land. Maybe the original farmland house wasn't this one originally, or maybe it's an Indian child from when the Indians, Native Americans, were inhabited this before we settled here. I mean, it could be somebody that died of one of our neighbors, but are just drawn to us and want to talk or share their experience, or us be in contact with them because nobody over there can see them or experience them.
Well, you know, we had the experience at our son's house in the attic.
Yes.
And the whole time they lived there, that was a very young child. And I did pick up it was a young child, but I kept picking up it was a girl. Now, I told you that when they left, I told, this child, I actually thought it was a girl. And I'd go up in the attic and say, you don't have to live here by yourself. You can go to the better place. But then we brought home some of his furniture, and who's to say, and that child didn't come home with us, and
Yeah, but
maybe it wasn't a girl in the attic. Maybe it was a little boy.
I was getting ready to say, I thought you always felt the presence of a little girl.
Yes, I felt the presence of a little girl and being up in that attic. But I did sense a very young child up in that attic. And I was hoping that she went towards the light and would go home, and not be there and be sad that our son and family and the grandkids were moving out.
Maybe well, we didn't really bring anything from the attic home, I don't think, though. And
No.
that's where you kept sensing it.
No, it was stuff from the basement and stuff from the main floor. Was that you and Carol or she that did that to me? What?
Nighthawk said that he gave Darcy a wrench.
Ah.
But I thought we did it on ours too. I don't know.
Everybody's getting wrenches tonight. Congratulations.
That's your parting gift.
We're having a mod party. And then William joined us, and now he's got mods.
Oh, that's interesting.
What?
Well, I got Maggie's, then I got something that William said I'll put up next.
Could have been attached to an object. I don't know too much about that. Yeah, things are attached to objects. But I've had this print, because I don't think it's a painting, I think it's more of a print. I received that in 1987, but I've never had any strange feelings or, we have never really had like poltergeists or tricksters. I have felt relatives from time to time, but
well,
I don't know. But like I said, if it came out of that quilt and then went up to the gun, it may not just be the gun that is the gun painting that is attached to, because the second time it happened, it actually came out of the quilt.
Right. Well, William said he doesn't look native, but could be. Long Dutch boy hair, light brown hair, dirty face like kids have playing outside, wear an old trapper style French shirt.
Well, can you ask him if you lived in my son's house? Because every time I picked up that that child was put in that attic as punishment, because you came down these stairs into like the kitchen area. And every time I'd go up there and go down towards the kitchen, I just felt punishment, that door was shut on them and they were sitting on those steps waiting for them to be able to be out of timeout or whatever. And there was one year I even went up and gave it a little Christmas stocking. I kept sensing a girl, but I know definitely it was a young child. And I was concerned that it was going to be upset that my son and wife and 2-year-old and 3-year-old grandchildren were moving. But I was trying to explain, you don't have to stay here. You can go to the light. There's angels and there's other children. There's a better place to go to. I was kind of hoping that that's where it went. So, I mean, who's to say? Maybe it did come home because we brought home all kinds of stuff from that house. Washing machine. Just like corner cabinets and stuff like
Stuff
that.
that stuff they wouldn't be able to take to the apartments.
Right. Yeah, they were downsizing, so they had to get rid of the stuff from the house, downsize to an apartment.
But we do, by William's statement, we do live on the river.
Mm-hmm.
And so this settlement was like a trading settlement for people on the river. And,
Well, and
and
this
originally
field,
this whole territory, from Louisiana up was all owned by the French. The Louisiana Purchase was all straight up through.
and this field's filled with orbs, which is all kinds of different things. So that is interesting because somebody did say they were seeing a little child's face and it was coming out of the picture. It was being pixelated, right? It was kind of
Yep.
getting pixelated, and they were seeing like a face trying to show up or appear. That's interesting. Well, I know that video's got tons and tons of views, and it probably is Steve Stockton. Plus, they're checking out that situation that happened.
Well, between
It's all that I am able to see because he hides most of. Now, so that's what I was picking up with this child that was up in my son's attic. That it was very shy, and it went through a lot of abuse, especially being locked up in there, and then I keep, like I said, I kept picking up him sitting on the bottom of the stairs, crying, waiting for him to be able to come back out. And I did sense, hiding it, because we didn't go up to in that attic. It was kind of a creepy attic anyway. But she had her food pantry up there. But, I did sense, that, yeah, it was hiding and just had a hard time trusting and feel comfortable. Maybe it started feeling comfortable around me. Maybe it did come home. If that's true, he can stay here. Just don't break anything and knock stuff off the shelves and slam doors and do things like that.
Well, we have spirit boxes and stuff that we play with once in a while. Maybe we'll know to
I
ask
have
the
it for
young
a while.
child or boy, whatever it is, to start talking to us and see what he needs or see what they want.
Yeah, because I haven't used the obelisk or the spirit box for a while. Why is that not coming up anymore? Oh, okay. William, make me some coffee too, please. I take mine black.
I'm gonna need more than coffee.
Like I said, there's not too many people on unless they replay, but I'm about ready to start smoking here. I haven't had a smoke in 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours. I did see a face when it pixelated, but I don't know enough to say either way. If it was just pixelated, it is a darker color. Yeah, I was kind of seeing that too.
The original video, we could definitely tell that was pixelated or whatever. We thought maybe it was because of the color of the painting, but it was only in that one little spot. It wasn't anywhere else on the painting. And that's when people pointed out that it was a little boy's face, or at least a child's face. They said little boy, but it could have been just been a child's face. But it was only in that spot, that little spot where that feather or fairy or whatever it was came out.
I just wish I knew more history of that print. William's gonna be up all night. I think William's up all night every night anyway. Smoke 'em hard. Thank you. It's been a few hours. They're starting to drive me crazy. I mean, other people smoke when they're on live. This is late night. We can do anything, right?
I guess. It's your show. Do whatever you
Well, at
want.
least we're not smoking bad stuff. Goodness sakes, we watch a certain person that's on Twitch and YouTube, and he's smoking the good stuff on live. And I'm going, oh my gosh, you could do
He-
that without getting kicked off and striked. I guess you can.
He's drinking and smoking, and they
Yeah,
pay
that's
him
right.
for it.
And well, that one night he did a bong. I remember that, the pineapple bong. I went, oh my gosh, you're live and you're doing this. I'm concerned just smoking these. Oh, yeah. And we're gonna have to go back, especially on a big screen TV upstairs, and rewatch the show and rewatch the show, and even the first ones, just to see, did we miss something those first few shows, or did this just start happening on William's show that morning? Thanks, William. You started it.
Yeah.
We had the little arm thingy flopping all over the place in William's show, and then we have a fairy attack your head, and then a little orb.
We were all fine till William started talking about all the spiritual and heaviness in the world and stuff, and all of a sudden it appeared. And it started
He
the
was
whole
talking
thing.
about anger, remember? Yeah, he
Yep.
was talking about anger and stuff, and all of a sudden, poof, there's that arm thingy, a bong. Yes, we were watching somebody. I'm not going to say who it is, but he's got a Twitch and YouTube, and he's on quite a bit, and he is just a character of a person. And yeah, he does drink quite a bit, and yeah, he will smoke pot on live stream, and he's got a pineapple bong, and everybody just cracks up, and he's back, he's just all really stoned, and it's kind of hilarious to watch, but and I'm thinking, you can really do this live, you don't get kicked off. I guess you can. I guess you can do pot on live TV, not TV, but live streaming.
Susie, you saw the feather again?
Really? What part? I mean, about around the gun, or because then we'll go timestamp this 2:44. All right, we gotta remember that. Oh my goodness, we might stay up just to see activity. Why is we are 3 o'clock in the morning? Things start happening at 3 o'clock in the morning.
William said his oldest son is trying to do a Tibetan bowl.
Yeah, some are easy to play, some are not. Sometimes you have to hit it just a little bit and then try to sing it.
See, that's the said from behind my head again.
You. So the gun. We're not going to sleep at all. We're going to go upstairs and watch the replay. And
You can watch it.
my
I'll watch
goodness.
it after I get up tomorrow.
And we double checked cobwebs and things. And there's only one cat that comes downstairs once in a while, and it's very, very rare. Oh my goodness. I thought I saw something too. Oh my goodness. Flew to the left, very noticeable. I was probably paying attention to my smoke.
See?
Mm-hmm. I couldn't help it. Thank you. Yes, I love singing bowls also.
Of course, I took the meters down so that they weren't up there by the painting.
Are they both off?
No, they're on.
Oh, they are
over here. They're over here by me, not by the painting.
I'll put it back there and say, whatever is here, please go to the EMF meter and make the light go off. Let them make themselves known and see if they'll set them off. There's even another one over there on the pool table you can turn on.
I think two's enough. I don't know.
It was over the clock. I don't think it's my uncle. I just don't see him coming to visit. He's hanging out with
No, he don't seem like. I
family
think he
and
was ready to go home and be
yeah, he was
with
ready
your
to go
aunt.
home and be with my aunt and my mom and my aunt. And so I don't think it's my uncle, even though he passed just a few weeks ago. I just went
It
back
was
and looked.
over
It
the
was over
clock.
the.
Hmm.
Well, there's an EMF meter over there now.
See, that's
Wow.
where the other ones were too. The first feather or fairy, and then orb. They were all behind my head.
I keep having the same thoughts the last couple of days, and I kind of shared a little bit with you. On top of that secretary, most of that stuff on top of that secretary belongs to who?
One's the what?
Most of the stuff on top of that secretary belongs to who? You you know, I mean the items up there.
Yeah.
Who do they belong to? Your mom. Your mom has not passed, but she has so bad of dementia and Alzheimer's. Could they possibly go in the spirit realm a little bit before they passed if they're that bad in dementia? Because almost every single item on top of that secretary is your mom's.
Yep, I agree.
You know, just like when someone's in a coma for weeks and weeks in the hospital, they do say they experience things even though their body isn't. And it just makes me wonder, you know, if your mom hasn't known any of you guys for quite a long time, are they already astral traveling? And
Well, her spirit would
so,
know.
because I sensed that the other day too, that, you know, if it shot up out of there, and is your mom visiting us, even though she's not passed yet, but she's inside of a shell, if that makes any sense to people in the chat. Do you guys?
Yeah, we've been practicing and trying to raise our consciousness and our vibrational.
Mm-hmm. And just being open, having my spiritual ears open. And when I do hear, it hasn't happened a lot, but once in a while I do hear
Energy
some
coming from the
relatives
lamp
come
again.
in. Hmm?
What? From the salt lamp?
So anyway, what I was saying, when I do hear things, it's not a word by word thing. It's not an audible. I'm not hearing somebody next to me. It's like a download message. They can say two sentences, and I know everything at the same time. It's kind of like if you sense God talking to you. You know, you get a message. You know everything all at once. It's not a word by word thing. And it has happened. Girl's dad even came through and talked to me one time, and it scared the living crap out of me. So I've been working on it. There is a theory that okay, that's what I've been picking up, and it just that's what I've been sensing is she is already starting to visit because she hasn't known any what 2 years, 3 years, and just sitting there. I mean, she can still talk if you ask her questions, but her dementia, and I mean, she's to the point she's doesn't have good days, you know, or even remember a little bit. So it makes me wonder if she's been showing up and visiting because that a lot of those things were very close things that was hers. So I don't know. But now it's over on the other side of you. So are they seeing? I know one person saw a feather. Now, what did William see? Did he see an orb or did he see
William
similar?
was seeing, like we saw in his show, I believe,
Oh,
the
really?
light coming off of the salt block or salt lamp.
It still makes me wonder. I mean, I know we wiped the lens and it stopped, but that thing changed shape. You know, like I said at the beginning, it almost looked like a finger, but then when it changed to the arm, it almost looked like it was curling down. I mean, it did change shape. But it did look like at times it was in front of you. It really wasn't behind you. Very interesting. I just wish the EMF meters would go off and let us know that somebody is here. Everybody's on the edge just watching Girl's head to see if they see anything.
Oh my.
Oh, goodness.
We'll have to switch rooms. See if it's me or the objects.
Well, I told you last night's show with Marty, I almost put my tablet over there and did the show over there just to see if anything would show up. And then my sister rewatched that show because I'm in here. She wanted to see if there was anything going on my, my show with Marty, and nothing happened over here.
Wow, Susie B said she definitely saw the little feather.
Ah, wow. Well, it's another one we're going to have to break down and make it short and slow down and see exactly where it came out of at the beginning. And if they definitely change shape, it can't be a little hair because hairs can't change shape. Wow.
Oh, look at that Penny Van.
Hi, Penny. Either that or people are waking up early. Either she's been up all night or she's just now waking up and joining us. Yeah, you can't miss it. Okay, well, we're definitely going to do the replay on that one. And it was 244, if I remember right. We'll go back and watch that.
Oh, right when we were talking about the floppy arm.
You know, the last few shows when we start talking about these things, that's when we're starting to see more. Very interesting. Wow. And I missed it. All right, so
It says 3:23 a.m. when you posted mark the time now. But I don't know what it actually was on it's 2:50, 2 hours and 56 minutes as far as the live stream.
you're the one that's sweet, Penny Van. Hi, we love you. I take it she's over in Williams.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
see her in ours.
Okay. I forgot about the phone. Yeah, okay, she's over in Williams. I just wish there was a way that I was able to see what?
Left
Another
ear
one?
feather.
And the furnace is not on right now. And you're not even close to that vent. I mean, and the vent's blowing towards like my direction anyway. This is getting crazy. Well, thank you for joining us. This will be the last time. Feel free to join us next time we're up late at night. Over a month ago, the Cryptid Hunters. Yeah, I was watching that. I do remember that tiny little, and it looked like a feather, or tiny little, like what you call them, a dow feather, no, almost like a little hair. I remember that. And wow, there was a few shows in a row that she was having a few orbs.
Williams said it's the 2 hour 53-minute mark.
It's going
But then the one Susie B saw before, there was one way before
that was
that.
that was a 244 because I looked up and I saw 244. So we'll check that. So her little feather is around 244. And I don't, like I said, we would pick up creepy feelings. I picked up on things like that pretty easy. Everybody's giving hugs. We still got 5 in our chat.
There's 10 on this so far.
There's probably
Still.
5. There's probably 5 over on Williams and 5 over on ours.
It went down to 8, I believe, at the lowest so far that I've seen. It keeps popping back up.
Aww. No, it doesn't actually feel like it's almost 3:30 in the morning. Ooh. Susie B, are you on Facebook? Yeah, email's fine too. It's midwestnightwatchers@gmail.com.
Or find us on Messenger.
Yeah, it's Gerryl Fountain, Gerryl, Gerryl Fountain or Jane Fountain. If you type in Gerryl, he's easy to find. Gerryl, it would be Gerryl, and then D for the middle initial, and then fountain like a water fountain.
Susie said yes.
Interesting. My goodness. What is going on? Now, we haven't even started going outside in the backyard yet. I still hope we haven't. Well, we kind of saw an orb with a naked eye on video, but I still want to see an orb with my naked eye, not just through IR or through a YouTube. What are you doing? Doing another EMF meter?
No, I was checking Facebook.
Okay. Yep, we're just a big happy family here. Well, you get all the good stuff. I haven't had anything float behind me.
That's what I always say about you. You get all the good stuff.
Yeah, but I'm the one that actually has the feather tapestry, and everybody's seeing feathers behind you. Are you bringing it in?
I don't know. Maybe they'll float on my hand.
And touch your hand? Should we ask it to show up?
I don't know.
Hello, beautiful little feather, little orb. Please show up and pounce on Geryl's head.
I don't know why they go towards my head.
Or that, or they're going to the crystals behind you.
Well, when I had my hands up, it was coming. Susie B says it's coming.
Because you had your hands up. No, check your email, or is it Facebook or email?
All right.
Well, if it came through, we'll have a do come up on our tablet.
Oh, that's why I was looking at Facebook. I just made the connection between. Yep.
Did you get it?
Yeah. Right. I got her message.
Does it look like the other night?
Hmm. Yeah.
You got to pull up what William just said.
What do you say now? Oh my. Yeah. That's probably why it's been happening every night. It's going to take more than one night to get the job done.
Oh my goodness. Ugh. And I don't see much pixelation now either. Once in a while we were seeing that.
Well, I changed my setting on my tablet from 5G, which is better quality video, but you
Mhm.
have to be closer to the source for the Wi-Fi. So I changed it to the 2.5G to have a better streaming, but not quite as HD as the 5G.
But they were still seeing pixelated stuff earlier.
Well, I just meant I did that because of
Oh.
us freezing once in a while. Yeah, the dog wants out.
We can bring our down beer on live stream.
Yeah, that'd be fun. You got your door closed.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Well, I'm about ready to call it a night anyway.
yeah, 333. Whoop, just turned to 334. Yeah, we really need to. It has been 3 hours and might have to rewatch it real quick before we go to bed though. I need to see what
I will not. I will watch it after I get up. You can stay up and watch
no.
and let me know.
Um I just
Well,
can't
it was fun though. It was a fun night.
I can't believe it's happening still. Hmm. Yeah, it's been a really fun night. I can't these 3 hours went by super fast. Really fast. Yeah, well, good night, William and Susie B and Maggie and Penny and everybody else who's still up and still on. Don't forget to catch William Friday night and Saturday morning and Sunday morning, and we will be Sunday night at 6 o'clock Central with Marty the Non-Boss. Make sure you join us then. All right.
Susie B sent two different pictures, and both of them the thing is in two different places.
Really? Does it look similar to that little fairy feather
Yeah.
thing? Really? Well, I'm going to blame it on Steve Stockton because he's the one that came on and was starting to talk about fairies and fays. Oh my goodness. I'm really going to have to watch our first few shows just to see.
She's got good evidence of you holding your smoke up. That was good timing.
They're probably wondering, that don't look like a cigarette. No, I smoke Madagascar vanilla Captain Black cigars. They taste better than cigarettes and they smell better than cigarettes, and your house don't smell stale and icky like nasty cigarette smell. We smoke cigars. I'm a crazy old lady with gray hair and I smoke cigars. So there.
Well, I hope you guys all had fun tonight, and
Yeah, we got the dog barking now, and
we've totally and truly have enjoyed all your company tonight. You guys are so much fun
yeah.
to chat, and I don't know if we've entertained you or not, but you've definitely entertained us.
Oh, they're getting to know us more, that's for sure. And we're getting to know them too. I mean, this is a way to get to know each other.
And not only do we want to talk about subjects and stuff, but this is what we really want. We want to banter and and have a conversation between the chat, you guys all and us, and get to know each other and have, talk about the same interests and everything that's going on. It just luckily we got stuff going on that people are seeing now.
Susie B just named it. It's a woo feather.
A woo feather. All
A
right.
woo it's a woo
Off of
feather.
the night owl.
We're having woo feathers on our night owl show. I like that. Woo. We're having woo feathers. Well, dang it. I think the other thing we're going to have to start saying is it's a doobly doo.
Oh, don't start that.
Yeah, we don't know what the little doobly doo thing is that's floating around. Well, yeah.
That was bad enough with Tex and Brandy.
I was laughing so loud upstairs you could hear me on the video, but just the things that they were saying and how he was saying doobly doo, and that was hilarious. Now we got a woo feather and
Off the night owl.
yeah,
Maybe it was off the night. Maybe it's because of William. Maybe it was off the night hawk.
yeah. Well, we're just gonna start blaming it on everybody. Blame it on Steve, blame it on William. William's not drinking enough coffee. I think that's what it is. We're just being ourselves too. I mean, I've seen a lot of YouTubes. You could tell they're acting and, being someone else. I mean, we just want to be ourselves.
We just, like we said earlier, we just want to be here. Like you're sitting around our kitchen table, and we're just telling stories and talking about life and things that happen. And so, I hope you guys enjoy this and come back and, like, share, and subscribe, and
hit that bell and make sure it's black to get notifications.
Tell Mouse to come over, and we'll have a good time with her too. And
anybody can find us on Facebook and add us as friends. And messages or Gmail. I think we prefer Facebook message more than Gmail, but not everybody does have Facebook. So did William take off?
He's probably making more coffee. I don't know.
Yeah, woo. We got a name for it. Woo. Woo feather.
All right. Well, everybody, I'm going to say good night, and you all join us on William's show, and we'll be on Sunday morning and Saturday morning for his normal coffee morning show, the Morning Brew, and Sunday night we'll have Nano Boss Marty on for our show, and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be on a couple more shows coming up here in the future, and we're going to have a lot more guests on our shows on Sunday, and the Night Owl 12:30. We're going to continue that on Wednesday nights, I believe, and this has been so much fun, and we're enjoying it. And
we love you all. Thank you for supporting us and coming over and hanging out, getting to know us, letting us get to know you. And thank you for watching behind my husband's head for woo feathers. Hopefully we'll figure out what's going on.
Yep. All right. Love
Bye,
and peace to everybody.
Love you.
Good night.